Yo, yo, yo. Yeah, we back, man. You already know what it is. Heart of the city. You know what I'm saying? Back for another episode. Took a little hiatus. Um, you know, iron out some things in the background, getting some rest, a little bit of a break. News was slow, but now we back and we got a lot to talk about tonight. But like I always like to do before we set it off, man, shout out to my co-host, Coach Ed, man. How you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you, man?
I'm good, brother. I'm good, man.
Good
What's
to be
good with
back.
you though, man? How you been?
I mean, just, taking it easy, step by step, little by little, It's all I can do right now. So, what about
Yeah, I
you?
know
What
you
you been
been
up to?
not much, man. Just grinding, in the background, man. But you know, I see you been working, man. You know what I'm saying, coach? I know you've been putting it in, man. So I'm glad to see that, man. Definitely, man. Shout out to you though.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. But I
No
know you're
doubt,
doing your
man.
work too. I know you're doing your thing. So, you got a lot going on, so much respect to you. Family life, businesses, everything you got going on. Come on, man. You grinding too.
Yeah, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? But You know, I love to do this thing, man. Heart of the city. You know what it is. We back, man. It's a lot going on in New York sports. Um, so man, let's get to it, man. First off, shout out to the chat, man. What's good, Levance, man? I see you, man. What's good, man? What's popping, man? He said, what up, what up, what up? So glad you back, brothers. Yeah, man. Glad to be back, man. Breezy, what's good, man? He said, yep. So what's good with you, man? For real, man. Definitely glad to be back, man. But we're gonna get into the Nets, the Knicks, um, definitely the New York Giants with this Saquon Barkley situation. Um,
Mhm.
Definitely got to touch on the Yankees and their struggles, man. And you know, will they trade for Otani, man? You know what I'm saying? That's a George Steinbrenner move, but I don't know if this regime is about that life. You know what I'm saying? But we'll talk
Mhm.
about that. We'll talk about the Mets, man. They still struggling too. And I know you got to touch on the women's sports, man, and what happened, man, over the WNBA All-Star weekend. So
Mhm.
um definitely, man. Lots to talk about, man. But let's get into it, man. So just gonna set it off with the Saquon Barkley situation because I know that's on a lot of people's minds right now. That's the hot topic in the city. Now, the deal didn't get done with Barkley. Um, as a lot of people anticipated, you know what I'm saying, him signing a long-term deal with the Giants. For him to play this year, he will have to play on the franchise tag, which is $10.1 million. And I know a lot of people are not happy about the Saquon Barkley not being signed with the Giants. And a lot of people think that this is the end for Saquon. Now, if you're the Giants, I pose the question. Unpopular opinion sports. Y'all hit that like button, man. We back, man. We back in action. I pose the question. Should the Giants trade Saquon Barkley? Now, he's gonna have to come to camp, of course, but he's not gonna come to camp, you know. But there's gonna have to be some type of resolve here, is what I'm saying. And
Mhm.
that's that's basically gonna be, him signing the tag and eventually playing some type of football for the Giants. Now the Giants can go into the season with Saquon on the roster and trade him in season, or they can do kind of like an NBA deal where he signs the tag, they trade him, he gets a long-term contract with another team. That is something I think the Giants honestly have to consider because a lot of people that I'm hearing is saying that the Giants aren't interested in tagging Saquon Barkley again next season. They may want to use the tag on someone else, like one of their other players. You know what I'm saying? So, whether it be a Xavier McKinney or somebody like that. But what do you think about that, Coach? Should the
Nope.
Giants
Nope.
explore trading Saquon Barkley?
Nope. Nope. Doesn't make
All right,
sense to me. To try and trade
talk
him. I
about it.
mean, you're basically saying, I just can't. I just can't see. I haven't even thought about that. To be honest with you, everyone kill me, but I've moved past. I've moved past this. I mean, I'm more focused on training camp and worrying about Dallas than I am about this. But to entertain it, no, I'm not even thinking about trading him. I'm just not. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. If you're going to, you know, if you're trying to do something long term, first you try and see what you can do in terms of a contract. I mean, he says he wants to be a New York Football Giants. This doesn't change that. I just think too many people are in their feelings. You got to
Hmm.
understand business. You got to know how to separate and know each. Saquon is an independent contractor. He's a businessman. So he said there's a line he wanted to go to. Joe Shane said there's a line he wanted to go to, and it's only $2 million. Um, Basically, what is the budget for the team? I mean, where are they at in terms of money? I mean, you still have to have operational money going into the season. So to sit here and say, oh, it's just gonna, $2 million, throw an extra $2 million at his contract, then what? You're eating up a lot of your salary cap. So, me, so some other, Giants fans who look at it differently, it's a business. Um, it is what it is. They both drew a line. They both said what they had to say, and that's pretty much it. And now, for me, I'm just ready to go into preparation for Dallas. That's it for me. You got it, bro. Go ahead.
I hear but it's not that easy. I mean, it's not that easy, and I don't know if it's
Breaking up.
and
You breaking up, bro.
I don't. Oh, oh, oh,
You're breaking up.
touching my neck, they're acting up.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm starting to hear you a little bit.
Yeah, can
Still.
you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah. I got you. Now I lost you. Well, while he's working on, getting his computer together, sorry about the technical difficulties. Everyone understands how it goes. I mean, it happens to all of us. So, but those of you in the chat, what are your thoughts, on Saquon? I mean, like NYG just said, the Giants should entertain trading him. What are your thoughts? Do you think they should? Like I said, I don't believe in that. You know, um, I think it's just a little bit too much emotional. It's too early. Right now, Saquon, first and foremost, he doesn't have a contract, so he doesn't have to be in the training camp. So, you know what? For right now, sit back, work out, do what he has to do, let the team do what he has to do, but, come in right before the season starts, get acclimated and get ready, get his body ready to, hit and then, get ready for Dallas. As far as long term, no, I just can't see, trading him because of what he brings to the table offensively. I mean, now you're saying that someone's going to give you a first, and that's the other thing. I don't think anyone's going to give you a first round draft pick, because of the market. But if you're saying someone, is willing to give you a first round draft pick, you know, then I might say, okay, maybe I should consider it. But honestly, I don't think they're going to. You're probably going to get maybe a fourth, fifth round draft pick, maybe as high as a third. And I know everyone's going to say it's Saquon Barkley. I get it. I get that it's Saquon Barkley. I get what he brings to the table. I love his dynamic approach. Don't think that I don't like Saquon Barkley. I do. I love him. I love what he brings to this team. You know, Trading him right now, no, I just think number one is way too early, and I think too many people are in their emotions. In terms of being upset about it and feeling, oh well, he's not being treated fairly, but that's the market. Again, it's if you look across the league, it's not just Saquon Barkley. You had Josh Jacobs over with the Raiders. I mean, you had Dalvin Cook who was cut. So I mean, it's this is unfortunately the market for the running back position. All right, you all right? You good?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, man. But um, back to Saquon Barkley. Now,
Hmm.
I think that the Giants definitely have to kind of explore um what they're gonna do about this situation because if they are thinking about moving on from Saquon, then I think the best route would actually be to trade him. Now, that's going to be an unpopular opinion with some, and I'm not saying that they should do it because I definitely want Saquon on this team long term. You know,
Hmm.
I'm a big fan of Saquon Barkley, and I definitely want to see him in a Giants uniform, for the rest of his
Hmm.
career. But it seems like the relationship is kind of getting spoiled right now, or maybe it already is. Now, you got reports out there from some beat writers, and I'll touch on that here right now. Ralph Vacchiano says, "How will this all end? Not well. Saquon Barkley is not very happy with how this was resolved. He'll sit out the summer and most likely show up for the regular season, but it's hard to imagine he's going to hide his unhappiness. This will loom over everything this season and could make it really difficult for him if he struggles. As for his long term future, don't be so sure the Giants will tag him again. And if they didn't offer him the kind of long term deal he wants now, it's hard to imagine their position on that will change once he's a year older. It's much more likely that for Barkley and the Giants this summer is discontent will be the beginning of the end. Um,
Hmm.
what do you think about that, coach? What's good,
I'm
man?
gonna
I see
say the
y'all in the
same.
chat, man. What's good? No Mets. No Mets says, "What's up, fellas?" Wells, I see you, bro. What's good? Good
Let,
evening. Yeah, man, we
let
back,
me
man.
say
Let's talk about it.
let me say this. Okay, I understand Barkley's upset. I understand Barkley wants his money. I understand Barkley feels he's not like any other running back, and to a certain extent he is. But it's still the running back position. It's not just the see. We're making it about the New York Football Giants, and it's not. It is the
Mhm.
position. So whether it's Saquon Barkley, I mean, you're seeing it across the board. What did King Henry say? They have greatly devalued. Just take the running back position out of the playbook. That's what this is about, ladies and gentlemen. It's about the running back position. Josh Jacobs. If you were telling me this was only Saquon Barkley, okay, you would have a valid reason and a valid argument. But Josh Jacob is going through the same thing. Dalvin Cook just
Mhm.
got cut. And he's a high productive running back. All the running backs
True.
across the league are looking at this. It is set. I read that all the running backs I think all the high end running backs are in a group chat and they're talking about what they can do. So it's not just Barkley. I get it. Barkley has to do what's best for him, yes, because he's an independent contractor. But he's facing this because it's the running back market. Someone just posted it. I think um, what were they saying about the kickers and the running backs? Something about the kickers are getting over $2 million on average, and that's across the board. Now again, you have
Yeah, I
32
think
kickers
running back
versus.
is like the third least value
Mm-hmm,
position or something like that. Yeah, but
exactly. So
punter
it's.
and
Mm-hmm.
like place kicker or something like this. Yeah.
So when you, and that's why I say we have to take the emotion away. Everyone is emotional because it's Saquon Barkley. He's the face of the franchise. He's always done everything right. He's a good soldier. I'm not denying that. I want Saquon here. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is a business. You see businesses do this with their employees across the board. Think about your job and your boss. If you work for someone, sometimes you have to go through this. And that's just the
Mm-hmm.
reality of it. And I get it. Most fans don't want to hear that. It's they feel the Giants and Joe Shane lied and he's the worst GM. And no, Joe Shane is a businessman. Sorry. And most of y'all may not
Facts.
really understand business. Y'all really don't understand business if you're really not looking at this. This is what this is. Players are an asset. Period. They are the product.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it is. You may not like it. It's cold hearted when you break it when I say it, but that's the truth. And guess what? That's what you have. And I'm going to say this: are you more a fan of the player or are you more a fan of the team? I love me some LT, but when he retired, guess what I did? I moved on and said to the next man, "Thank you for what you
Facts.
did, LT, but I had to move on." And I say the same thing here. That's why I said a little bit earlier. Look, I moved on from all this. I thought the contract was going to get done right before the deadline. I was wrong. Okay, I was wrong. It's a business. Let's go. Who's next man up until they get this done? Hope I still want to believe they're going to get. He's going to come in and he's going to play on the tag and he's going to play angry and here's one more thing. Maybe he is going to be so angry that he's going to play phenomenally that he's going to force the Giants to tag him, like you were saying, like you
Mm.
were saying, NYJ. He's going to force them that maybe they have to do something. I mean, that's
Yeah.
just a thought, also. So, but that's my rant. Go ahead, you got it, bro.
Nah, that's good shit, coach. For real, man. And I share your sentiment, you know what I'm saying? Because I do believe, ultimately this was just a business decision. Now, a lot of people got mad at Dave Gettleman and some of his decisions. You know what I'm saying? And Joe Shane is doing what you guys wanted. He's taking that hard stance. He's not overpaying for players. He's not valuing positions that aren't, you know what I'm saying, of high value right now in the NFL, which is one is the running back position. Unfortunately for Saquon, that's just the position he plays, and
Mm-hmm.
I hate it. I don't like to see it either, but that's how it is, man. And Joe Shane is doing what a lot of people wanted, man, and he's being a GM. And he's not giving in to fan pressure or ownership pressure. John Mara wants Saquon Barkley here. You know it. Everybody knows it. He was the number 2 overall pick, for God's sakes. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't want to lose this guy. You know what I'm saying? But Joe
Mm-hmm.
Shane is putting his stamp on this Giants organization, and we're gonna see whether it's gonna work out or not. I believe he's doing the right thing personally, but that's just my unpopular opinion. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they got to go out there and play football. You know, and if Saquon Barkley
Exactly.
goes out there and he does what he does, and the Giants, are put in a position to where maybe they explore trading him, or maybe they do come to a long-term deal next season. You know what I'm saying? But I highly doubt that because of the way this general manager Joe Shane is basically taking his stance to where he's not going to overpay for positions that look. Think about who he paid. He paid his quarterback, which we all know that's the most important position on the field, and he paid his nose tackle. So, and that is one of the most important positions on defense. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have a strong defensive line, you can't coach. We talk about this. This is football. This is the trenches. So, if you don't have a strong defensive line, you can't do anything. And if you don't have a good quarterback, man, it's gonna be hard to do some things out there too. So Joe Shane took that stance, and look again, Saquon Barkley, what was he offered at the bye week? A lot of it was rumored to be like 11.5. So if you adding that up, that's the 22 million that the Giants came up to. They came back to basically their original offer, and he still didn't take it. So if you taking the rumors into consideration, so look, man, I'm telling you, this
Let me add
doesn't.
to that. Let me add to that
Go
too.
ahead.
All right. Let's be real, everyone.
What's good, Tudo? I see
They
you, bro.
offered exactly Tudo. Much respect, bro. They offered Saquon before they offered Daniel Jones last year, and
Hmm.
Saquon said no. Now, none of
Right.
us saw the market the way it was. I guarantee you, if he had any inclination, Saquon would have signed that contract last year. But the fact of the
Hmm.
matter is, they offered him over Daniel Jones first,
Right.
and then they came back to it. And they also offered him multiple times a contract. Yeah, chicken noodle casserole. I feel you, Levance. I feel you, bro. Um, if it was 14, whatever, 13, 14, the fact of the matter is he got offered before Daniel Jones, and he said no. So there has to be some culpability on Saquon's part too. It
Right.
goes both ways. I mean, we wouldn't if Saquon signed his contract back then, we wouldn't be sitting here right now talking about this. So everyone wants to kill Joe Shane and put everything on Joe Shane or talk about Daniel Jones just because of Daniel Jones. It's a business. Saquon made a business. His team made a business decision. Period. They said no. They said no to a contract that was offered. They felt they could get more. Well,
Yeah,
guess
and you
what?
lost. You know what I'm saying?
All
You
right.
lost that
And I keep
battle.
saying the same thing about Joe Shane. Joe Shane is playing chess, bro. He's playing chess. And sometimes you're not gonna like the moves he
Yeah, he's
makes, but I mean he's trying
he's
to win
being a
it, bro.
general manager. Right.
Exactly.
He's being a
A
general manager.
competent,
You know what I'm saying?
say it right, a competent general manager,
There you
not
go.
some buffoon. So
Facts.
I mean, like I said,
Facts. Super
I moved
facts,
on
bro.
from
What's
it,
good,
uh,
bookends? What's good, man?
and also look at it like this: Saquon ain't getting beat up right now. He ain't getting beat up. He's not going to play any preseason games, so he's not going to get beat up there. So he'll be
Hmm.
fresh going into that first game. So
Yeah,
I'm,
he's gonna
I'm,
have something to
I'm,
prove.
and if he doesn't play that first game, think about this. I think it's like 563 million. I mean, $563,000 that he's losing for every game or something like that.
Yeah.
If as they said, they were squabbling over $2 million 4 games. Is that or three and a half, 4 games right there? That's that money right there. That's the $2 million right there. So if he was squabbling over that, I don't think he's gonna give up that money like that, man. But that's just me. But never
Nah,
mind.
I don't see him sitting out or anything like that. What's good, Raphael? What's good, man? I see you, man. What's up, man? Um, I don't see him sitting out, but he's gonna play in the regular season. I mean, it's just Saquon Barkley knows. Look, this NFL thing is not for long. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
you can't waste a year of your career. You know what I'm saying? Over a few $1 million. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta you gotta understand that that's these guys are getting paid, and we sitting here acting like millions of dollars is chump change. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now.
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
not sitting out. If I'm an athlete, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting paid $10.1 million to play running back for the New York Giants, and the Giants actually have a decent team. You've been here your whole career, and this team been trash. And
Hmm.
now they actually got a decent squad, and you're gonna hold out? Like, nah, man, I don't see it happening. You know what I'm saying? So basically, you know what I'm saying, this is a team that can help Saquon Barkley. You know what I'm saying? If Evan Neal was right and this offensive line is doing what I think they could do, they're gonna be a dominant run blocking unit. They were a dominant run unit last year that
Hmm.
people don't talk about. So why would you sit out if you're Saquon Barkley? Man, I don't understand that, man. I see you, Shelton. What's good, man? What's good, bro, man? Welcome to the show, man. We back, man. But I definitely don't see Saquon sitting out. Now, let's get into a little bit of training camp stuff here. Whether Saquon plays or not, you got three other running backs on the roster. So let's talk about that. Let's talk
Hmm.
about Matt Breida. Let's
Hmm.
talk about Eric Gray, and let's talk about Gary Brightwell. And if you want to throw Jashawn Corbin in there, you can too. But let's talk about the other running backs on this roster.
Did anybody hear if they signed
Let's
Thompson,
say
the kid from the USFL? Does anybody know if they signed him?
nah, I'm not sure.
Okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm looking now. Go ahead.
He's from the
Wherever you go, stay.
UFL.
USFL, yeah, he played for. He was the lead. He was the offensive MVP
USFL.
for the. Hmm. For the
Okay,
Houston Gamblers, I think.
that the ones they brought in for the workouts.
Hmm. I was just asking
Okay.
anybody here if they signed him. I guess they didn't. So we would have heard something. I just probably missed it. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Don't worry about it.
Oh nah, yeah, you good. So basically though, let's talk about the other running backs. Matt Breida,
Hmm.
you know, he was Saquon's backup last year. He's gonna be the backup again. He'll probably, in a situation that Saquon doesn't play, let's say he doesn't even play the first game. Some people saying he might sit out the first game. Um, and so Matt Breida is gonna be your running back. Then you have the fourth round pick, Eric Gray. You know,
Hmm.
a lot of people are intrigued by his skill set. So I like Eric Gray. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna be Saquon Barkley, but he gives you a different vibe. He gives you a different style. With the running backs, usually it's about style. More than anything, you can have a ground and pound pause running back like Derrick Henry, or you can
Hmm.
have a Alvin Kamara type, a Christian McCaffrey, a Saquon Barkley type. You know what I'm saying? So there's different. You got Nick Chubb. You know what I'm saying? Who's kind of a tweener, as they would say in basketball. Um, so that's kind of the style. What would you say Eric Gray his style is, Coach?
He's a one. Right, he's more of, if you're gonna run him, let's just say he's not the type you want to get to the outside. He's gonna be in between the tackles, inside, one cut. He's gonna try and set up his blocks and cut right off of that and go. He will make guys miss, um, at the point of attack sometimes because he has good elusiveness. Just that he does not have high end breakaway speed, but
Mm-hmm.
he's still a good running back. He can be productive. I would say if he's your starting running back, expect him to get you probably 65 to maybe 85. On occasion, he'll get 100 yards depending on who the opponent is, but look for about
Mm.
65 to 85 yards, in total in rushing yards, depending on how many carries they give him.
How is he in the passing game?
He's good. He has good hands. I think in his whole college career, I think he dropped two passes. So,
Mm.
he's good. Pass blocking, I do think has to be developed with him, but he wasn't
Mm.
asked to do that at Tennessee or at Oklahoma. So, but you know, he does have a stout lower half of the body. So, I mean, he's not built like Saquon, but he's sturdy. Like Bookhead said, and he's never fumbled. So he puts a premium on making sure he protects the football. So, like I said,
Mm.
he's and here's the other thing too. I was in a space and I said this in this space. I said the running back position is showing that you don't need a high end number one, number two, number three round draft pick. Your Super Bowl champions, they had a number one draft pick and they replaced him with a seventh round draft pick. Think about that.
Mm.
A seventh
Wow.
round draft pick, Isaiah Pacheco out of Rutgers. I followed him for years. I love him. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
I'm partial, but the fact of the matter is, Edward, what's his name? Edward Alaire, number one draft pick, got
Yeah.
replaced
Clyde Edwards
by
Hilaire. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Clyde Edwards Hilaire. He got replaced by a seventh round draft pick who produced during the Super Bowl. And Edwards, he wasn't. Okay. He was replaced by, like I said, by a seventh round draft pick, and the seventh round draft pick who produced.
Mm.
So again, this Gray had. I'm not saying he's Saquon Barkley esque, but this is his opportunity right now in training camp to say at minimum he should end up being the number two. But with Saquon out, he should say, I want that starting job.
Yeah.
And if he goes out there and he produces and he runs effectively and he performs, and that's the thing, I guarantee you, a lot of the fans, if he goes out there in the preseason and he's tearing it up, a lot of these fans who are emotional, guess what they're going to do? They're going to act like Saquon, what?
Yeah. They're gonna get out their
Seriously,
feelings real quick.
seriously, seriously. So yeah, I know 40 days, bro. I can't wait with Vance. I can't wait. Yeah, and those who know me know I love college football more than I do the NFL. So
Yeah. Yeah.
my
It's gonna
Scarlet
get
Knights
cracky.
are my Scarlet Knights automatically prime time Sunday. I can't remember if it's afternoon or night, but they play Northwestern right off the bat on
Mm.
September 3rd, I believe. And
And
that's before the
Northwestern
NFL
was
season.
pretty good. They was decent last year,
Nope,
wasn't they?
nope, nope. Northwestern was 1-11, and then they're going
That
through the
wasn't
scandal.
what year was they good? Was it that was the year
That
before?
was no 2 years prior.
2 2 years ago. Okay. I know one
Yeah,
year they was pretty decent.
but the thing I like about Gray is he knows what he is. He's not going to try and dance. No, he's not. He's good at finding the holes, getting skinny with exactly. Exactly. That's the whole point. And think about that, and I've heard so many Giants fans who, why is that Saquon back there dancing around? Just go, just make a one cut and go.
Yep.
Well, guess what? This is what Eric Gray is. One cut,
Mm-hmm.
go. Or he's going to just try and push the pile and try and get whatever he can and move on to the next play. Saquon is dynamic because he dances around and he's looking for the home run play pretty much every time. Gray is, you know what? If I'm getting 3 yards, if I'm getting 4 yards, I'm gonna move on to the next play. As a coach, I'm gonna tell you right now. Excuse me. First down, I'm getting 4 yards, and I got second and six, and I got another 4 yards on second down, and I'm third and two. My playbook just opened up. Play action, I can still run because I'm getting 4 yards a pop. So if I run and I still get a 4 yards, I now just gain in 3 plays 12 yards. That's how a coach looks
Mm-hmm.
at it. That's how players look at it. So if he's giving me that, okay, or he gets to a third and four, you still open up your playbook because you can do play action, you can hit the flats, you can go vertical, you got crossers, you got so many different things. You got your rub routes, or as the defense will say, pick routes. So
Mm-hmm.
again, Gray is going to give you that. So Breida, to a certain extent, he's going to be a speed guy to get to the outside. Brightwell is going to run tough and physical, for the most part. But yeah, the game does change. It seems like it changes every year. It's not like when I was a kid. You ran that ball, and threw when you had to. Now it's run when you have to, but throw all the time.
Yeah, facts, man. Most definitely, man. But yeah, some other training camp battles that we could talk about. Definitely the guard position battle. When you're talking about Ben Bredesen, Josh Suzudu, um, you got McKeithen in the mix, Shane Lemieux in the mix, a couple other guys. What do you think? How do you think this offensive line is going to shake out, Coach? Going into training camp, we're going to see a lot of. I know they're going to do it because they always do it. They're going to mix and match these guys around and kind of cross train them. Because you still need a backup center. We got John Michael Smiths, but you still need a backup there. You gotta have people want to see what's going on with the left guard position. Whether it's gonna be Ben Bredesen, Azudu, McKeithen, Lemieux, or somebody else. Also, the right guard with Glowinski. Can he keep his spot? You know what I'm saying? And of course, we all want to see Evan Neal if he has taking the next step in his development. Um, what are you looking for going into training camp from this offensive line coach?
Solidifying that left guard position, no rotation. Just get your starting five and just go with it. So right now I'm expecting it to be Thomas, Bredesen, Schmidt, Glowinski, and Evan Neal. And if that five can, work their way and develop and you know not continue to be able to run the ball. That's number one. But number
Mm-hmm.
two, develop a good pocket for DJ to be able to do what many of us think he's more than capable of doing and perform at a good level. So, um, but ideally, that's what I'm expecting. Azudu, I think, is going to be the one who's going to be the rotation between the two guard spots. Maybe they work with him, but they also signed that guy from Pittsburgh, Hassan Pfeffer, whatever his name is. I don't know his
Mm-hmm.
name.
Yeah. Yeah.
He might
Some
also get
some
in the mix.
JCH. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're gonna call him
and then
JCH.
your swing tackle. Who's going to end up getting that? I've heard good things about Matt Pert. He's come into camp a lot more healthier. He's in great shape. You also have
Pert
Um,
has talent though, coach. I mean,
yeah, I'm not saying
he's
he does
just
it.
nah, I know. I'm just, what I'm saying, just to piggyback over what you're saying, he has talent. It's just the fact that he just hasn't been developed and he's been injured more
Mm-hmm.
often than not. So, you got guys like Matt Pert, and then on the defensive side, what I'm saying, not to change the subject, but you got this Ellerson Smith guy, who I'm still wondering who this cat is that supposed to play for the Giants. Um, supposedly he has talent too, as a pass rusher. So I mean, you got two guys that are what third round picks. I think both of them that that,
Mm-hmm.
that you haven't developed. So, but go ahead.
Oh, no, I mean you're right about that. So I mean, with the other tackles who played last year, I mean, I'm comfortable with the tackle position as long as Evan Neal gets his act together. That's really what it boils down to. If Evan Neal can get his act together, I think in the long run the offensive line will start to gel and stabilize, especially in the middle, and then we'll be able to do a lot of the things that we want to see this offense do and get the ball to the playmakers that we want. And also speaking about running back, I think they're going to put what you call it back there too, Campbell, who might get some looks a couple of times because, like I said before, they might try and use him like they do Debo Samuel's out in San Francisco. He's just not
Mm,
as thick body as him, but jet sweeps coming from the wide receiver, put him in the
yeah,
backfield, trying to get some mismatch on the linebacker in the passing game, but also give him the rock to run the ball because he also did that at Ohio State.
they
Many
want to
people
use
don't.
Wandell Robinson like that. Remember
Mm-hmm.
last year they were doing
Mm-hmm.
some things with Wandell Robinson. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
what their ultimate plan is. But since he's hurt, yeah, I could see them using Paris Campbell kind of as his replacement in those type of plays. That's a good call, coach.
But getting back to the offensive line, you know, that's pretty much how I see it. They'll probably carry 8 on the offensive line. I mean, no matter saying Bredesen might be the odd man out, but for who? For who?
Yeah, I don't see that, man. Ben
But don't
Bredesen
tell
is
me it's
better
Shane
than
Lemieux.
people think. He's better than people think.
Yeah.
He really is. He's better than people think, man. And wasn't Bredesen the one they got in the trade for
Mm-hmm. For Baltimore, with Baltimore.
Baltimore? Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
it was a reason that they did that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the guy is not as bad as we want to say. I don't think Bredesen gave up a sack last season. Um, so I mean, it's not like he's a bum. The problem with the Giants line was the right side from the center
Mm-hmm.
to the right tackle, including the
Mm-hmm.
right
Mm-hmm.
guard and Glowinski, who was supposed to be your best offensive lineman next to Andrew Thomas last year, but he wasn't. It was actually
Mm-hmm.
Ben Bredesen. You know what I'm saying? So, um, out of all those linemen, Ben Bredesen was the second best lineman on the Giants last year, and people don't want to say that. A lot of people poo-poo Ben Bredesen like he's just a bum. I mean, first of all, even if someone takes his job, say a Zulu takes his job, okay, cool. We want to see that. Zulu's a third round pick, but you still need this guy for depth. He can play center in a pinch. They was cross training him
Mm-hmm.
last year to play center,
Mm-hmm.
so he knows the position. So I mean, you can switch in the right guard if necessary. I wouldn't put him at tackle, but he can play the interior. All three spots. So I mean, I don't know why Ben Bredesen is kind of
Mm-hmm.
always getting picked on here, but
Mm-hmm.
um,
Mm-hmm.
definitely he's not a bum, man. What's good? What's good? That's AK. What's good, AK? What's good, man? Thank you for coming by, man. Appreciate you, bro. AK Eagles. Shout out to Hardcore Sports Network. But we can move on, man. Let's talk a little basketball here, man. Let's talk a little basketball. I know my bro Breezy in the chat, man. You know what I'm saying? Watching a little summer league, man. I like what I see out of my man Wilson for the Nets. You know what I'm saying? Getting that second team. Um, you know what I'm saying? Summer league accolade right there, man. But yo, it's great, man. To kind of see, you know what I'm saying, the NBA kind of shifting a little bit, you know. I mean, you got the Dame Lillard news, but you don't really have a lot of like trade kind of, you know, stars moving around like we have in the past, man. What do you think about that, coach, man? What do you think about the NBA, man, and this summer, man? What's happening with the Knicks and the Nets, man? And I know the Knicks made a move or two. You know, the Nets were pretty quiet, thankfully. Sean Marks didn't mark it up again. But definitely, man. Let's talk some basketball, man. What are you seeing from the Knicks, Nets? You could chime in on that. And what do you think about the NBA in general, man? N- a, a little bit of news, but not like in leagues past, man, where it was just a frenzy of, you know, star swapping teams.
You won't see that as much anymore because of the new CBA. I
Mm,
mean, the penalties that are associated with certain levels. I mean, got teams are going to try and keep their own players. So, as far as the Knicks trading Obi, I mean, you know what was going to happen. You know,
hmm
he didn't really get the opportunity to be developed the way he was. Hopefully, he'll get the opportunity to shine out there in Indiana, and maybe it'll come back to throw egg in Tibbs's face. Because Tibbs is stubborn. I mean,
hmm
even now with the article with Fournier, Fournier has no relationship. He doesn't even speak to the man. So I think now part of that
Wow.
I think he's doing that because if he's speaking out, he can get traded. They'll possibly trade him. So because he did allude to, they should have traded him last year when he came into the season because he had value as a 3-point shooter. Now, what are you going to get for him? He doesn't care. He's getting $18 million. So, but in the same token, he wants to leave, so, and of course, Derrick Rose, same thing. I wish Derrick Rose the best out in Memphis,
hmm
so,
I sent you the
but,
link on Twitter, Breezy.
but
Check your Twitter
overall,
message.
I don't expect the Knicks to make any major trades. All this stuff about for all these different guys, it's like, you have to give up all your young talent. You
hmm
literally have to do, you literally have to do that. So one for, I think, Carl Anthony Towns, where you got to give up quickly Grimes, R.J. Barrett, and like 4 or 5 first round
And
draft
he
picks.
damn sure ain't worth it. Yeah.
And then you bring him in, and then you got a cluster bump at in the I mean, in the front court because you already have 3 other centers.
hmm
So if you're going to play Carl Anthony at power forward, then where are you going to put Julius Randle? I mean, it doesn't make sense the BS that I hear, or read for these journalists in trades for. I just say, they do these articles because they don't like the Knicks and they want to, make fun of the Knicks and In the end, if they can write an article that screws the Knicks or makes them look screwed, then that's what they're gonna do. So, but what's up, Breezy? How are you, bro?
Shit, I'm glad y'all back. Shout to Coach Ed. Shout to NYG22. You know we missing you, Jeff. Shout to the chat. Shout to Levance. I seen him. He was in here before me, man. Like, what up? What up?
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I miss
What's
y'all. I
good,
just want
bro?
to I just want to slow down and say I miss you guys, man.
We appreciate
Definitely,
you
man.
as
Miss you
always,
too,
too,
bro,
brother.
man. Appreciate you,
Trying to
man.
tap in when I could, listening to your show.
Well, oh yeah, yeah.
Man,
Pull up
I
anytime,
be ear
Coach.
hustling.
Yeah, I definitely be wanting Coach to pull up because of everything that's going on. You see I've been heavy with my conversation about the Brooklyn Nets, but just to get up to speed with you guys, um, for one, that's fucked up that Saquon ain't gonna get the money, and two, messed up that I heard what Coach said about how they just run when they have to, and back in the day they ran it and passed when they had to. I think that's bad for the NFL. It's just my opinion. Just trying to catch up to you guys.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And then when it come down to French fry Fournier, he was right. He should have got
Mhm.
traded last season. The Knicks dropped the ball with Obi-Wan. It's not just that Obi-Wan didn't get played develop. I feel like it is to an extent an obligation as a ball club to invest in player development, especially when you got a top 10 pick. You had one with Knox and you had one with Obi-Wan. I think it was round a pick
Mhm.
10 with Knox, and I think it was pick 8 with Obi-Wan. I said
Mhm.
that to say that sometimes the front office mess up. We seen that with the Brooklyn Nets, but case in point is I think, and I'm starting with the Knicks to end with the Nets. I think the Knicks, what they issue is that Tibbs is stubborn. Now, I said that because Obi-Wan may not suffice as a starter on the Knicks because of Randall. I'm not going to disagree with that, coach. But what I will say is when Randall got that nagging injury in the latter part of the season, I thought that was a perfect time to implement Obi-Wan and utilize his skill set. They had Obi-Wan taking 10 3-pointers in one game. Like that's not necessary, especially if you got Evan Fournier on the bench. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to attack from the 3-point line, but you sit the guy who broke John Stark's record last season for the playoffs and a lot of other games, then that's not on Evan. You know what I'm saying? That's on the front office or the coach. That being said, I feel like the Nets, we were successful in the picks, Jalen Wilson, and
Hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Noah Clowney, I think he need to go to the G League. Um, what's
Yeah.
his name? Well, it's pretty. Derek Whitehead is injured, so it's not him. But it was another one. It's a shooter, Armani Brooks. This
Yeah.
guy was shooting lights out, and if there was ever a reason if there was ever a player that deserved a two-way contract from the Brooklyn Nets, it's definitely him. He didn't play a lot of minutes when he got to the league. It's just like his fourth season. He didn't play last season. Well, when I checked basketball reference, he didn't play, but I think he got drafted by Toronto. Case in point is he never had a real chance to show what he can do, and the most basketball I seen him play was the summer league. I thought he was a rookie. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm.
I said that to say there's a relationship with the Jalen Wilson and Chacon. Both of them are Kansas alumni. You know. That being
Mm.
said, I think Jalen Wilson, with him getting the accolade of being the second all team in the summer league, he's going to be put in the rotation immediately, and that causes for trade. We got a lot of pieces that would be considered for trade. We got a lot of MLEs and all of these etc. things that
Hmm.
make me as a fan feel like
What's good, Tommy?
I don't think that the Nets are going to start the season with this same exact roster. I think they continue to shake things up. The season starts in October. It's July. I think it's way too early to say, we start the season with this roster. But to what NYG22 said, they didn't make no hasty moves. They
Yeah.
were very careful in their approach. and I like
Yeah.
I like the direction that they're going. I don't think the two guard spot is on lock, and I don't think that the point guard spot is on lock. But I think they'll keep Spencer for what he's worth. I don't like
Man, they
no.
gotta get rid of Spencer Dinwiddie, man. They gotta move off this guy, man. Now I do like the Lonnie Walker signing. He gives you some depth in the backcourt, but I mean, we gotta upgrade the point guard position, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, I like how they looking in the front court. Bringing back Cam Johnson. You got Claxton. I'm looking to see him develop a little bit more, but at the end of the day, you got to upgrade the backcourt a little bit, man. You know what I'm saying? And I would actually like to see them get a little bit younger. Um,
We
this
did.
kid,
We did.
yeah. So now the elephant in the room is Cam Thomas. I
Okay.
mean, we talked about Cam Thomas a lot on this show, but now you got some competition, perhaps at that spot, as a backup two guard or a backup two-way guard, however you want to look at it, you know what I'm saying? So what do you how you think this is going to shake out, Breezy? I just want to get your thoughts on that real quick, man. And then we'll talk about something else real quick, but what do you think about Cam Johnson, man? I mean Cam Thomas, and how this is going to shake out with Cam Thomas and the
I think
Knicks?
he's I think he's one of the few players that has shot creation on the Brooklyn Nets. I say Cam Thomas. I'll give it to Cam Johnson, and I say Mikal Bridges. And I mean,
Hmm.
I guess you could say Spencer Dinwiddie, but we don't have a lot of shot creation. So to let Cam Thomas go, I think would be foolish because we don't have shot creation from the front court. We don't really expect Nick Claxton to go on isos and score the ball. We might get that from Cam Johnson, but he's more of a catch and shoot or come around a pick type of player. Mikal Bridges, he's okay at shot creation, but not much of a facilitator. But I do see chemistry between him and Cam Johnson. But I just don't think that we have enough shot creation, and that's why it's vital
I
to
agree.
keep Cam Thomas. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's how I feel about Cam Thomas.
Yeah. But do you think they will? What does Sean Marks and Jock Vaughn think about this kid, man? Because honestly, I'm not sure. Um, I I, I want to say they need to give him more of a shot. You know,
Mm,
um,
yeah.
he needs to get more minutes. But honestly, I don't know if what they think, and if they're gonna think that you know this kid is really gonna be able to crack this rotation, so to speak.
Yeah, I agree. As Nets fans, we both know that the front office is unpredictable. It's
Mhm.
hard to say what they're gonna do and not do, but again, I really feel like what we did do is went younger, and we got all of these player development coaches, four of them to be specific, four new ones, and Cam Thomas has a high upside because he's young. I think we went young. We definitely went young. Got Dariq Whitehead, he's 18. We got even though Cam Thomas is in his third year, he's only 21 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The
true.
oldest players we got on our team, I think, is Spencer Dinwiddie and Royce O'Neal. And I think is one more that might be 30 years old. But for the most part, these players are in player development mode. I don't think the expectations are very high. So, like you was saying earlier in the conversation, I don't think they have to, you know what I'm saying, try to go, take papa steps to get to the where we going. Take baby
Mm,
steps. There's baby steps, there's mama steps, and papa steps. I think we continue to take baby steps, and keeping Cam Thomas is one of them. He got a team friendly contract. You know what I'm saying? You don't want
yeah,
to give them up
true.
for. You don't want to give that up. You don't want to give Cam Thomas up for a player like Hero, who's been to the finals, who probably got different expectations in where he is in his career, just to
Mm-hmm.
satisfy the Miami Heat. Because at the end of this trade transaction, we want to win. We don't. I don't think we won the Harden trade, but it's debatable. I don't think we won the James, with Jarrett Allen being sent out. I really feel like we could have did what we did with Jarrett Allen and Karis LeVert. We could have went to the second round that year without James Harden. I think we get past Boston, and I think we compete heavy versus the Celtics. Now, I said that to say that the trajectory of the Brooklyn Nets. So they went young, they got player development coaches, and everybody on the team right now kind of fits the timeline and or the window of winning for what the Brooklyn Nets want to do. So, I
What do you
think
think about what Tommy says? It says the Nets need to grab Conley in free agency.
I think Conley old as hell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think Conley, if he was going to do something, he would have did it. And his best basketball days is behind him. To be honest with you, that's how I feel about him. You know what I mean? I think he's a good player though, and it's nothing to. I will never sneeze at his career, but. Is he a fit for the Brooklyn Nets going into next season? I mean, we contrasted him to Dinwiddie. I'm gonna keep Dinwiddie over Conley. You know what I'm saying? I will keep Dinwiddie over
Yeah.
Conley.
I can't argue that for real, because Conley is old as hell. Um,
He
yeah,
said
man.
he said Conley gives us leadership. I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to question that. You know what I'm saying? Conley, I think he played his best basketball with Memphis. I think that's where his leadership ends. We would have him in a roles role, like how he was like a mentor to the Knicks and those players coming up. But nah, man, I'm cool. I'm cool on Conley, man. And I like the direction we going. I got us, excuse me, a number 17 next season. You know what I'm saying? With this roster that we have here, I think DFS is a piece that we overlooking because he shot bad at that 28 game
Man, I can't
sample
stand
size.
that dude, yo.
Yeah,
That dude.
no fan, no, yo, the Nets fans don't like him, but I think we need to give him
He's nasty,
another
man.
chance at it, man. I think you need to give him another chance at it. But I wanted to know what coach thought about just the whole idea of this Embiid thing. You know what I'm saying? Because you got
Uh-oh.
Jalen Brunson and you got Randall, and I feel like Nick fans are finicky. 50% of Nick fans agree with this, and 50% agree with that. It ain't 100-0. You know what I'm saying? So I like to ask all Nick fans what they think, because especially the coach. And how do you think that Embiid would fit with the Knicks, or is this feasible? I'm reaching, or what's going on with that?
It depends on what you're giving up to get him first and foremost. Because the thing that I see is everyone always goes after all of our young wing players in our draft picks. But we have Mitchell Robinson, we have Hartenstein, we have Jericho Sims at the center position. So
Okay.
to get him, number one, you're going to have to give up. To me, you have to give up Mitchell Robinson because of his contract. And
Absolutely.
I don't know if Philly would want him. Because basically they're because in a sense they would have to rebuild. They're rebuilding. So and I
That's a
know that
fact.
they want to get rid of a lot of big contracts. So they would want they would probably be willing to take R.J. Barrett and build around him and Maxi, but they wouldn't want to take any of our center positions. Maybe they'll say Jericho Sims because he's a young, athletic center. You might take him, but that's what I see that they would do, and they would want a multitudes of first rounds. So you'd have to give a quickly. Well, you might not have to give a quickly because you have Maxi, but you're definitely going to have to give a Grimes and R.J. Barrett, maybe a Jericho Sims, and maybe 4 or 5 first round draft picks. And for me, I'm not with that. I'm not. If I'm going to bring if you're going to bring MB, or Mitchell Robinson has to be included. That's first and foremost. I mean, that's just the way I see it. He has to be included in there. And then to give up all of your literally you're starting wings. I mean, where do you go from there? It's like, okay, you're doing all this to get an elite player. I get it, but we would end up trading positions with Philly because a lot of the Philly fans, they're not happy and they're complaining, and they want what's his name, the forward they have from Long Island, is it Harris, Tobias Harris, they want him gone. So it's like,
The cookies.
I don't would I want to be Embiid on the Knicks? Of course I would. I'd be a fool to sit here and say no, but at what cost? And
That's
that's what it
true.
boils down. That's really what it boils down to. If I got to give up R.J. Barrett and Grimes, man, I mean, yeah, we have DiVincenzo. I get that. You can move him in, but what about the other one? And if we're keeping, I mean, even if you say, oh, I'm going to get a third team to be included in to a three-team trade, maybe that's a possibility. But every time I hear about Embiid, it's always Grimes and R.J. Barrett and first-round draft picks, and maybe McBride, or some have even said quickly, but him quickly and Maxey pretty much are playing the same position. So
Mhm.
it's like you would have to give up the whole farm to get Embiid, and where does that leave us?
No,
So
I hear you. I hear
yeah,
you.
what's
I
up, bro?
mean,
How
is
you?
it worth it? Yeah,
Yeah,
basically, man,
yeah,
that you
like
saying, yeah.
So, all right, let me ask you a better question.
Real
Are
quick,
the
I just want to welcome my bro, Big Pat Sports Talk, man. What's good, Big Pat, man? Welcome to the show, man. What's good with you, brother?
Good, good, good to hear your voice, man. Good to see you back, man. How you been doing, bro?
Man, maintaining, you already know, man. Grinding in the background, man. We trying to get some things cracking here, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. What's your thoughts, man, on the basketball news, man? You could chime in on the Giants too as well. I know the Saquon Barkley situation has been going down, man. But let Breezy finish his point real quick, and then I kind of want to get your thoughts on everything going on with the Giants.
All right.
I
Go
just
ahead,
wanted
Breezy.
to. I was kind of swinging it to coach. Shout to you, Big Pat. I was
What's
just
going
basically
on, man?
chilling, man. I was basically saying that, from what I hear from Knicks fans, y'all seem like y'all all agreed that y'all overachieved last season, going to the second round, and going into this season, is going to the second round success for the Knicks because y'all overachieved last season, or y'all trying to, I mean, basically title contend. I mean, the second round, then it's conference finals, then it's finals. So, are the Knicks comfortable? Are the Knicks fans comfortable going to the second round again this season, or would y'all feel like it's a disappointment if y'all went to the second round
If you're
and
talking about
or
Knicks
less?
fans, if you're talking about Knicks fans as a whole, the vast majority want to compete for a championship. That's just how they are. I mean, I can't say it anymore. I don't. Do
What's
I
good,
think there's
What
Leaf?
up,
still
Liz?
there's still moves to be done to get there? The Knicks are not just one piece away to get to compete for a championship. And personally speaking, I kill me for it. Maybe it's just the way I feel. I don't think the Knicks can win with Julius Randle. I just don't.
Wow.
Um,
Can you break that down for me? Can
okay, first and foremost, it starts with the middle finger to the fans, basically the fu to the fans. I
Oh
mean
man,
that
that was a deal
Oh,
breaker.
ain't
that
letting
that
that go.
for me, no, you can't do that to the fans. You can't. You don't like what you're hearing, whatever. I get it, but during the course of the game, no, he's a talented dude, but it's during the course of the game, he's always arguing with the referees. There's too many times that he's arguing with the referees and the ball is all the way downfield and down court, and he should be back there. Screw what happened, man. It happened. Just get down court and get into your defensive alignment, and let's go. But he's sitting there arguing and crying with the referees, and
Mm-hmm.
then the ball sticks with him. He gets it, and it's always dribble, dribble, dribble. He dribbles into
Yeah.
the double team. He turns the ball over consistently. And there was a couple times last year where Brunson was coming to get the ball, and he's waving him off, and he takes the ball up the court, dribble, 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 and shoots a three that doesn't even hit. No, man. He is an enigma. He's talented, but he's very selfish. He doesn't fully play team ball. I know his teammates speak. Oh, he is, but you got to do that in the media. You got to do that in the public. You can't let that dissension be there. He's not a true team player. He's not going to lead you. He at best, he's a number three, number four player on a team. For
Wow.
his money, no, for me, no, he's not it. He's just not it. So, but on the Knicks, unfortunately, because of the talent, he is what it is, man.
I respect
Yeah.
that.
He gonna get burned for sure. You know what I'm saying? Because just off, like you said, coach, he's probably, well, not probably, he is the second best player on the team. You know what I'm saying? Outside of Brunson. So
Hmm.
I mean, that's just talent wise. So I mean, you can't just let them. You know what I'm saying? Like waste the talent. You need to use them. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of in that mode right now to where they're kind of stuck. You know what I'm saying? I don't see nobody trading for Julius Randle. I don't know,
Nobody's
man.
going to.
If
If
if they
somebody
can pull
takes
off a
Julius
Joel
Randle,
Embiid trade, man, that will be, man. Knick
that's the
fans
other
need
thing
to
question
build
that
a
I put
statue
number one
for
question.
for for your man Rose out there,
Well,
man. If he could pull
look,
that
if,
off.
if, if you got Embiid, how is he going to fit with Julius and vice versa? Because I just can't
If you,
see it.
no, I
You would
don't
have
mean to
to
cut
give up
anybody
Randall.
off.
Yeah,
Oh, go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Pat. Go ahead, go
I
ahead, go
don't
ahead, go
mean to
ahead.
cut anybody off. If you get Joel Embiid, Randall most definitely has to be included in that deal.
Right.
You can't afford Randall, Embiid, and the point guard I
RJ
never
Barrett.
wanted. Yeah, RJ
Oh,
Barrett and the point guard I never wanted to leave from Dallas. I knew that dude was a star when he was playing the playoffs for us with Luca that year. I always forget his
Mm,
name, but the dude's a star.
Jalen
Um,
Brunson.
Brunson,
yeah, Brunson.
Jalen
That
Brunson.
dude
Yeah.
hard, man. Pause. But yeah, that little dude's something serious, man. You got to build your team around him, man. Um, Julius Randle, like Coach said, I believe he's a three on a very good team. Um, the reason why I say that you can't win a championship with Randall is because of his attitude. If he changed his attitude and made it about team, that dude could be dynamite, man. I think he's
Hmm.
just out there to prove that he's like that, and that only takes you so far because people started to figure out your game and people started to figure out what makes you tick and what makes you do stupid stuff like sitting and crying to the ref while people running down the
Mhm.
court on a fast break. You down there crying to the ref, man. Get your big ass down the court and let's play some defense. Like what you
Word.
doing? That's why the Heat ran y'all off the court with a
Mhm.
bunch of undrafted players.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
Jalen Brunson is the captain of that team, and you have to build around him. You do need a legit big man down there. Randall could be that. I just don't think his attitude fits New York, man. New York, man, New York fans, man, are something serious, bro. They're gonna call out
Yeah.
every little thing that you do. And when you start giving the middle finger and everything, you're lost. You're done. That means New York has gotten to you, and you
And
can't take the
speaking of
heat.
New York, the Dame ain't gonna work in New York. That dude's going to Miami. His
Yeah,
personality, I mean, it's just a fit down there with the Heat. You know what I'm saying? He's not coming to the Nets. He's not coming to the Knicks. And I don't think he's a fit really in New York, man. This is heart
no,
of the
he's
city,
not.
man. For real,
No,
man.
he's not a fit in New York.
And I'm glad you brought up the New York aspect, Pat. You know what I'm saying? Some guys just aren't a fit for New York City. You know what I'm
And
saying? Eli
I'm
Manning was
telling
a
you,
perfect fit for New York City. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
because he was Teflon. It didn't matter what you said about the dude. He was gonna give you that same goofy look, and I'm gonna buckle my chin strap and go out there and play. It is what it is.
I want
A
to
guy
add to
like
what y'all said.
Jalen Brunson is a fit for New York City. You
Yeah,
know what
I
I'm
agree.
saying?
I agree with that fit because I think the low key guys, the ones that just want to hoop, stay out of the media, those are the guys that's for the Brooklyn Nets or just the New York scene of basketball. Even
Yep.
Hmm.
KD, as well as he played with him in the podcast and him in the tweet, as a Nets
Yeah.
fan, I'm tired of the media fucking with Cam Thomas and all this extra shit.
Hmm.
I just really want to see basketball players play basketball. Your post game
Facts.
interview is not supposed to be more interesting than what happens when you play basketball. Your podcast is not supposed to be more interesting than what you do when you play basketball. Like, I'm a fan of basketball, not your podcast, not what movies you watch. No disrespect to Kyrie. I respect you as a man, but it's a time and place for everything. You know what I'm saying? And as fans, we just had real high expectations for basketball. We didn't want to we didn't want to go through all of this stuff with the media. You know what I'm saying? We just wanted to see some hoopers out there actually trying to win games. So I don't know. That's just me, Rand.
I gotta say something to Tommy. Tommy, I get what Dame would do, putting on a show and wowing the fans, but it's for me, it's about winning, man. It's about winning. And then the other factor is, I mean, him and Brunson together in the backcourt, that would concern me,
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
Dame wants the ball in his hand at all times, and Brunson is the same type of player. Brunson needs the ball. He'll give it up. He'll defer on occasion because he just knows how to play like that. But at all times, nah, he needs the ball in his hand too. So yeah, he put on a show. The fans would love it, but would it be the same as Portland? Or are you trying? Dane wants to win a championship now. That's why he's saying he wants to go to Miami because he
Yep.
believes he
Yeah.
can win the championship with Himmy Butler. So I don't think he could do it on the Knicks team. He can't win a championship on the Knicks team. Not the
The
way this
Knicks
team is
ain't
constructed.
championship ready. Yeah. Neither are
Yeah.
the Nets. So I mean, and the expectations are gonna be through the roof. Soon as he comes in, you know, championship or bust. That's gonna be the expectation, because like Pat said, New York fans, you know what I'm saying? We
Hmm.
some crazy ass fans, you know what I'm saying?
Like I
And
said,
That's
I'm a New York fan, but I'm not as crazy as most New York fans, man. New York is a hard place to play, bro.
and we
it
seen that.
is.
We seen that. We seen that with Drew Holiday. That first year with the Bucks, he won it with Giannis and company. So
Hmm.
I think Dame Lillard is looking to do the same thing with Miami. And he felt like they went to the finals. He would just plug and play. I'm gonna be able to compete at top high level. I don't think Dame ever went to the finals or the conference finals. I think the
Mm-hmm.
furthest he went
Mm-hmm.
was what was it, the second round.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
second round. Yeah, he never
Yep.
been to the
Yeah.
conference finals. What's
Or the
good with you,
finals.
Leaf? Man,
Word.
appreciate you joining the stream.
Yo,
What's
yo,
up,
yo, what's
bro?
good? What's good? Pop, what's good with Coach Breeze? What's good with it?
So,
Yeah,
What
was
up? What up, Leif?
yeah, what's good with it? I was listening a little bit. Somehow Conley had came up. I was like, wait, huh? I'm like, nah,
Oh,
I'm like,
that was Tommy. Yeah,
yeah,
Tommy.
yeah, yeah. I was just like, all right,
Mike
nah.
Conley.
Listen,
They
I
just
already
trying to
told
give us
people, listen.
anybody now.
I
I'm
done
not. I'm
told
not
Breeze.
with
I done
that.
told Breeze a million and one times about Dinwiddie. I said, listen, if it's possible to get him out straight for Tyler Hero, I do it, man. Listen, I'm all for it. But the thing
They
is, if
contract is the same though, kinda, but he don't
they
got as much
contract
of
is fine,
assists. He shoot better than Dinwiddie, but Dinwiddie is a way better facilitator than Hero.
I,
obviously. But I think
But
that's
who
what
you
Ben.
facilitating
mm,
to though? That's what I'm saying. We don't really
Exactly, yeah,
got
yeah.
a
But I
lot
think
of.
that's where Ben Simmons is gonna come in. That's where Ben Simmons supposedly is supposed to come in because it seemed like the organization is
Man,
telling him is getting his hopes up, like
man,
raising
gee
spirits or
whiz, we
whatever. I
going
don't
back
can
to
know.
I
Ben Simmons.
can I say one thing, man?
Go
Here
ahead.
we go.
I'm so
Bad.
pissed off at Mark Cuban, man. Do you know that when we had Dinwiddie,
Hmm.
Christian Wood,
Hmm.
Jalen Brunson, Luca,
Hmm. Hmm.
and
Brunson.
Junior, Tim Hardaway Jr.
Tim Hardaway, yeah.
That starting five right there was nice.
Right.
And for some reason, they broke all that shit up to bring in Kyrie Irving.
Look. I tell you. Listen, it's clear cut, bro. Like
And that shit still break my heart to this day
if
that
you
we had a squad, bro.
if you ain't figured it out by now, the Mavericks don't know what they doing around Luka. They don't know how to build around Luka. They don't. Like, look how many times that roster has changed since he got there. Look how many like y'all went for y'all had Dennis Smith Jr. in this first season. Now y'all done went from him to Porzingis to Brunson and Dinwiddie to Kyrie. They don't know how to build around them. They don't. They don't know what they're doing down there. Now
I was cool with them getting rid of Porzingis. I would have got rid of Porzingis. He's not it, but they should have kept that. This is a New York thing. Go ahead, man.
yeah. So
Go ahead.
nah, listen. As far as Dinwiddie goes, listen. Him and Tyler Hero made the same money. Listen, I'm all in for a Tyler Hero Dinwiddie straight trade, bro. Like if you want to throw a pick, if we could throw a pick in there, it's fine with me. But I'm not all in on throwing another player up in there. Like
I
the
don't
way that
think
our
Miami.
timeline.
Yeah, I don't think Miami going for that. I
Yeah.
don't
I don't
know.
think Miami is going for that too much
The
neither.
Nets
But
are done. I'm just telling you that now.
I
Whatever
The
mean,
little
Nets are
bit of whatever
rebuilding.
little
That's what the Nets are
yeah.
doing. They're
it,
rebuilding
it
now. It's
no, we
obvious.
rebuilding, man. It could be
Yeah,
worse. We could be the Mavericks, bro. Like I mean, like listen, it could be a lot worse. But
I see the shot that you just put right there. It's
yeah,
okay.
yeah. I understand, but the thing is, we had a fast trip to rebuild. We could have ended up with nothing after getting rid of Kevin Durant and Kyrie. The position that we ended up now is like right in the middle of the pack, like middle card team, probably like 5 or 6 seed. With the way our roster look right now, but if we start taking the baby steps, like my man Breeze was saying, bro, like I think we should be just fine, and we have an opportunity to hit the reset button, but hit the reset button basically with a head start, with an extra head start, as opposed to being like totally low where we was when we had Karis LeVert and when we got rid of all the other pieces before, after the Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce sequence, man. So I think we better than expected. We better than expected, man. Like we ain't all the way in the bottom of the barrel. So like we better than expected, but we'll have to wait and see.
yeah,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
doubt, no doubt, man. But I want to get not to switch it up, but I want to get Pat's take real quick. While I got him on the stream on this Saquon Barkley situation. I appreciate you, Leaf, Breezy, both of y'all. You know what I'm saying. I know y'all don't really do the football. Y'all can stick around. We
No.
probably get yeah,
Actually,
we'll probably
somebody
get
was
back into basketball here in a little bit, but I do want to get Pat's take on this Giant situation real quick. While I got my man on the
Saquon.
stream.
The Saquon
Yeah.
thing, yeah. That was yeah.
Um, I got a couple of things about this Saquon thing. They already start opening up Saquon Barkley's file.
Mm,
Um, there's a interview that he did during the bye week that was never put out, but now has been put out. He's been talking about he didn't like the two comparisons that the Giants gave him as two comps during the bye week, and that's one of the main reasons why he rejected the contract at the bye week. Then he's rejected like 4 or 5 offers from the Giants. So
yeah.
um I think this is a collusion by the running backs in the NFL, to be honest with you. And he's the face of it. What I mean by that is all these running backs are gonna start trying to complain to Goodell to try to get more money into the running back pool. And I think they told Barkley to ask for the absolute most that he can ask for and take a stand and don't take any deal that the Giants are giving you if they're not going to give you more than what Christian McCaffrey or someone like that is making. Because when you look at it, you just seen a linebacker and Tremaine Edmonds get more money than any running back has gotten in a long time.
Right.
Mm,
You just seen one of the best running backs on the market, Miles Sanders, have to sign for 6 years, 25 million, It's on average of $6.25 million a year.
Oh
That's
hell no.
and then you just King Henry, even though him and D Hop may be boys, he just saw D Hop coming off an injury riddled season and get more money than what he got.
Yeah,
And that was
Yeah, that's
considered
got
crazy.
him.
15. He got
And
15, didn't he?
That's
D Hop.
crazy.
yeah, he got like 16 a year. And that's
Yeah, that
considered they consider that low.
that's it for
So
two years, 26, I
so
think.
you're in the league where quarterbacks are getting paid 50 between 52 and 55 million. It's going to be 60 million when Joe Burrow signs. You're in the league where a tight end is making what Waller's the highest at what 17 to 18 million per year.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the league where offensive linemen, as far as the tackles, are going to be making close to $30 million a year. I believe Andrew Thomas will break that mark
God damn.
next year. Right tackles are making 28.
For a lineman?
Right, right guards will coach around what 20.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Centers,
it was 17. I think it's 17. Yeah, you might be right, about 20.
So
yeah,
basically the running
Centers.
back position is disposable.
yeah. The center position is
Yep.
making around 16 to 18. Cornerbacks are making over 20. Um, D linemen have been making over 20 for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Safeties are making 20 now. So I believe
I got a quick question
Saquon.
when you finish. When you finish, nah, go ahead.
Okay, I believe Saquon Barkley is the face of what the running backs are trying to do, and I believe the
That's risky.
mouthpiece behind the scenes is Austin Eckler.
That's risky though, man. That's
That is
very
risky. But
risky.
quick question. With I meant do you think the money market as far as running backs was kind of screwed up by Christian McCaffrey? Because
Yes, by
because
Ty Gurley,
I
Christian
strongly believe so
McCaffrey,
too. Yeah.
Le'Veon Bell, Ezekiel Elliott, all those dudes. They got paid their money, and look what happened. And
I think with Christian McCaffrey, just in terms of his talent, I think this is what a lot of teams are looking for and upcoming running backs in terms of like just being different dynamics. Same thing with like somewhat of like a Debo Samuel, but like a run the ball and can catch out of the backfield. They want you to be like kind of a jack of all trades at the running back position. I like not to say that's definitely Saquon. That's definitely Saquon is definitely
Mm-hmm.
fits that bill, and I think he's gonna be the head honcho and they're gonna steer the ship in the right back in the right direction for the running back
it's
market. But in order
yeah,
for it to work,
all
I think this has to go all the way. This has to go all the way to the end zone, like 100 yards, so to speak. So, but
all that is cool, but what it really came down to is when they got that new contract for that new money,
uh huh,
they found a way to save money on the players by nullifying the running back position because all those big contracts that those running backs signed,
right.
it didn't pan out, and that was their excuse to be like, you know what, we ain't finna pay you dudes like top players on
So
the
you saying
team.
Christian McCaffrey was the last straw? Was like the straw that broke the camel's back?
When the Panthers traded him to the 49ers, that was pretty much the last straw that broke the camel's back on the running backs. Their last hopes are Saquon Barkley and Jonathan Taylor when it's time for his deal to come up. If he doesn't get hurt again. If Jonathan Taylor continues to ball out, and what also hurt them is when Nick Chubb settled for 12.5 million.
Right. Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he took. Yeah,
And
he took a
Nick
low
Chubb
ball.
has
Yeah.
been balling
He's still and he been a top three, top five running back for the
for the
last
past
couple of
three,
years,
four
and
years.
for him to get nickel, for him to allow
You still there, bro?
Lee,
terms of this
I don't know.
inside
NYG
running
running
back.
gone
back
too.
market.
Are you back? Okay.
I couldn't hear anything you had said, bro. You had went into the matrix for a second.
Oh, my bad, my bad. I was saying Saquon Barkley is pretty much got to be the superhero for this new market. You know what I'm saying? So he pretty much got to wear the cape for
Yeah,
this new market to explode the way that it's supposed to explode for the new running back. So
And coach,
Hopeless. Yeah, hopefully everything go on the up and up. Because if it don't, man, the running backs is going to look disposable for quite some time now.
and coach, I don't know if you know like I know. That shield don't lose, bro.
No, it doesn't.
Whatever little scheme you got coming up.
Well, it don't lose often because it did lose when they had the concussion lawsuit. That was the
Oh
only
yeah,
time.
that's
That's the
some,
right.
but just regular players trying to
Yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, 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 no.
No, the closest thing came to was Colin Kaepernick, and look what happened to Kaepernick in the
Mm-hmm.
end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
That shield don't
When
lose, bro.
that's why I say with this Barkley. I mean, I got
Ah,
what you're saying, and that's why I say it's a big risk if as running backs you're trying to do that. Um, to literally could work together. I get it, and that's what you're supposed to do. But it's also counterproductive to the union because, I mean, in a sense, the union don't they usually establish your negotiating power in a sense, and how the league sees and remember this is a passing league. So what sets the pass is the quarterbacks, the receivers, the offensive tackles, and then on defense your edge rushers, your cornerbacks. That's really what really dictates. That's where your prime money. That's how they look at it. Because remember, I said it earlier today. Players are commodities, and that's how this business is. This is a business, and in a business you look at the players and their production and the value they bring, because what do fans come to see? They don't come to see the running backs all the time. Saquon Barkley, maybe, some fans do, most fans do, yes, because of how dynamic he is. But everyone else, for the most part, nah, they want to see King Henry because they want to see him run over somebody or, take them and pick them up and body slam them. Christian McCaffrey because he's good in pass catching, and for a white boy, he has some speed. So, that's how they look at it. But overall, no,
Cause,
seriously, no, seriously, no. See, you're laughing, but you got to think about who
He
is
ain't
the
lying about
average
that.
fan. Who's the average fan? The white people, and then you got
mhm.
those little white kids. They're saying, "Oh, I can do that." And that's
true.
what they see. So, and that's the marketing. That's where these players are. Their merchandise. And that's
Hmm.
where, you know what, King Henry said it. He said you might as well just take the running back position out of the game. And to be honest with you, that's what's going to end up happening. I mean, in high school now, do you not realize that 7-on-7 is a big thing now?
Mhm.
7-on-7 is a big thing. That's like AAU tournament. That's what they have, and that's
Mm.
where football is. It may be headed. Either they is it. I really see it going there. You set them up 7-on-7, and you give them a certain amount of time to get the ball out of their hands and pass catch, and boom, there you go. But
Yeah, coach. I
yes,
wanted to
sir.
ask you something. Do you do?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
asking a panel for real. Do y'all
Mhm.
think that this new thing with the NFL is similar to the 3 pointers with the NBA, kind of trying to preserve the player for like a longer life in sport life? Like, they can last longer in their career if they weren't running. Because I mean, I'm not agreeing with it. I think it's egregious for one, but for the safety side of it, I do understand the I mean, the offensive lineman and the defensive lineman and the fullback and the run back, that is constant physicality on a
Hmm.
you know what I mean, and it could take a toll on your body, and it's one of the reasons why instead of having a schedule like the NBA where you play maybe three times a week, you play once a week because of all of the toll that it takes on your body to actually compete at in this sport. So that's my question. Do you think that not running the ball kind of gives the lifespan of a player a longer lifespan, the same way the 3 point shot is doing it? But both, in contrast, both fans are complaining from the NBA and the NFL that it's kind of ruining the sport. You know what I mean? But what do you guys think?
To
Well,
say,
I
go ahead, go ahead, Chris.
I would say in terms of the NFL, any chance that they did to go in a direction where like they have less injuries of like players, not the least amount of injuries as opposed to the previous years, and making the game safer, they're gonna take it. They've been known to take it. It's documentaries on it. It's past CTEs, all that type stuff. So any chance they get to take the game in a new direction, man, they're gonna take it. The Pro Bowl is basically flag football now. It's basically
Yeah,
flag
true.
football, like so as opposed
Good
to
point.
when R.I.P. Sean Taylor had knocked the hell out of Buddy in the '05 Pro Bowl game. Like it was a real game, and it was just like, okay, yeah, back then it was acceptable, but then they looking at that as new cases of like the injuries that players are suffering at, like on their way out of the league, and then they're like, you know what, yeah, you know what, we got to do something about this. So I think in terms of the NFL, yeah, they going any chance they want to get safer, they gonna take it. As far as the NBA goes, man, like
Uh,
no, go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, I don't think it'll ever get to that point, to where the regular season games are like the Pro Bowl. For one, the Pro Bowl shows you that you can never do that because nobody watches the Pro Bowl anymore. Nobody watches that crap.
Good point.
Second of all, the closest thing that you have to back in the damn gladiator days is football. When you used to watch gladiators go out there and go at it, that's the closest thing you got to it is football, and then you got rugby as well. But it won't even. I wouldn't. If you made it like that, it wouldn't be any reason to play football anymore. Because if you broke a record, who cares if you broke a record? You nobody could touch you, nobody could do anything to you. Of course you're gonna break a record. Why would I care about getting 2,000 yards receiving in a league to where it's two hand touch? Of course you're gonna get that. You can't do anything. It's a lot of pride in those men that go out there and play that game. You take away the whole game. So no, that would never happen. Now the thing that will happen is you will have a bunch of fifth and sixth round picks playing the running back position if those dudes do decide to be like, you know what, we gonna go on strike and we ain't gonna play. So every top running back in the league, which is only about 13 of them, you decide to hold out of your respective teams. Okay. Hey, hold a tryout, local tryout for some running backs in here, and we gonna get this guy hit the holes, kid. That's exactly what they're gonna do. And you
That's
did
exactly what they're gonna do. Yeah, you
right.
absolutely right. Because
That's
they
why.
know how to replace, like football. They know how to replace you quickly. The NBA
Here's
is
Yep.
like kind of lenient with it, man. Like, but football, they get it done quick. They be like, oh, word.
The
here.
only the only
Because the NBA is
position
more
that
of a
would
players' league. That's the
the
difference, Leaf.
the
The
only
NBA is more of a
position
players'
in
league.
the
Go
only
ahead, Pat.
position in the NFL that if a whole position decide to sit and not play, the NFL might be in a little bit of trouble is the quarterback. That's it.
Yeah,
If
I
all
We
those
seen
quarterbacks
we
decide to
seen
sit,
bad quarterback play. Yeah,
we
it's
if
seen bad
it's
all
bad
those
quarterback
quarter
play.
football.
if all those quarterbacks decided to sit and not play, the league will still go on, but it'll be very,
You gonna
very
have a
hard.
bunch of Kurt Warners, man, coming out of the convenience
Yeah.
store, man, playing.
And then it's gonna start looking like the XFL instead of the NFL. And that's when they will get in trouble. But that's the only position that could even try to do that. That's why they give those quarterbacks all that damn money.
One
They don't
thing,
have a reason to complain. Go ahead, coach.
one thing to breezy your question. Um, in terms of taking the running out of the game, it's also fan entertainment. Most fans want to see the passes. If you think about a lot of Giants fans, they complain, they're saying, oh, we don't pass the ball deep. They complain about that because they want to see the ball go deep because that's exciting. They want to see the receivers go up and maul a defensive back or make those amazing sideline and toe taps catches. You know, that's what they really want to see. So, um, if it that's where the running is being taken out of, because it's a passing game, and that's what fans want to see. The RPO, it's a run pass option, and realistically what it is you want to get the run going, to establish the pass, and you really are not looking for big explosive plays per se. You want to see good runs. Like I said earlier, if you're getting 4 yards a run, that's good. And that forces the defense to come up and attack the run, where you can now pull the ball and throw the ball right behind the linebackers, which fans want to see, which is the pass. And then you see these guys turn into playmakers running in open space in the second and third level, going up against defensive backs instead of going up against big defensive linemen. So that's where the run is more effective in that regard.
I just
Yeah,
think it's
no
a
doubt,
dangerous
man.
game, and those running backs are playing, man. It's a very dangerous
Yeah,
game.
yeah,
Well, it is risky. I will say it's risky for sure, but I think at the end of the day, with the way players is coming into these combines and more dynamic than ever, man, I think it's worth it to a certain extent, man, because it's really gonna look, it's really gonna have sort of an eye opener if Christian McCaffrey was one of the last highest paid running backs, and then there's a gap between, man. I think that ain't gonna look too good on the NFL's resume to me. Like especially with the way that a lot of black quarterbacks is being drafted and everything. The way what we just seen out of the first round of this past draft, man. Like quarterbacks were being drafted left or right, black quarterbacks at that. Bryce Young, the dude from that went to the Texans, another kid was
CJ
top pick.
Stroud,
Yeah. So my thing
Anthony
is just
Richardson.
like, yeah. So my thing is the what in terms of CMC being one of the last high paid running backs. I don't think that's really going to look good for the NFL in terms of imagery. That's just my opinion, man. Like I don't know, man. But
And
we
see,
gonna have to
see,
wait and see.
this is not a shot at you, bro. But I can't stand when everybody wants to play the race card on everything, bro. Like everything. Like all running backs are getting
I didn't
out.
want to do it right then and there, but I just think that's
Like,
it just seemed like it just allow me to explain it, like just in terms of how they would be looked at. Not saying that I would look at it that way. I mean, like it is what it is. You put the best play on the field.
let me give you this scenario. How many white men you think can pull out the race card about the skill positions? Period.
It's
There ain't been a white DB
zero.
in the league since Jason
Jason
Sehorn.
Sehorn.
Yes.
How many?
Yes,
How
facts.
many? How many? How many white running backs have you seen do anything in the past 30 years? All star,
Man, Merrill Hogs,
all
bro. Like that's the only one I remember, man. Like
all star.
Merrill
Peyton
Hogs
Hillis for a
It's
Merrill
just
blitz,
like
Hogs and
it.
Mike Allstott, who was a fullback, man. Like
right?
It's
Peyton
like in
Hillis for a blink.
basketball.
Peyton Hillis, yeah, Peyton Hillis, yeah. Forgot about
Peyton
him.
Hillis, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean,
Like
we
in
can't play. We
basketball,
can't play
where
the
they
race
still
card
go
on
back
that,
to
man.
Larry Bird. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the same
I don't think
thing.
that will ever come up because like the international players is basically kind of taking over in terms of like the marquees.
Yeah,
Um,
international players, great, take that over, boy.
yeah, the
Watch what I
international
tell you.
players are taking over the marquee, but in terms of the NFL, I strongly believe, like, and just I think it wouldn't be a good look. I don't think other people would look at it the same if CMC was the last highest paid running back, and then there's a gap in between, and then people will look like, yo, for real, y'all ain't paying Jonathan Taylor, y'all ain't paying Saquon Barkley, oh, y'all kidding me? Like, then it'd be
Chris
like an uproar.
Harris.
It seemed like it seemed like it'd be an uproar from it. That's all I'm saying.
That's
Like,
what they're gonna do, man. I'm telling you, that's what they're gonna do. And
Yeah,
I'm the,
they
the
could
head honcho
they could
of
go
it.
that route.
The head honcho of it is
Perception.
gonna,
Go ahead.
yeah.
I'm
The
sorry.
head, the head honcho of it is gonna be Austin Eckler. That's
you think Austin Eckler going to spearhead that?
Yeah, it's Austin Eckler. I'm telling you.
Mm.
He's
I
stirring the
could see
pot.
that
Yeah.
happen. I could see him stirring. I could see that he being like the spoon that stirs the pot for that particular sequence. But we'll have to see, man. I think Saquon is I think Saquon is the wild card for this. I mean, but because if it doesn't work for him,
He's the pawn.
yeah, I think this goes left, and then like you said, it's gonna be fifth or sixth round running backs getting a job, and then they can pay
It's
them for
already
cheap.
there. It's
Yeah.
already there. Think about like I said earlier, the Kansas City Chiefs already proved it. You have their first round draft pick who got supplanted by a seventh round draft pick, and they won the Super Bowl with him. So they've already proven that, and they've already said we don't need these top elite running backs to be productive because you got guys like Isaiah Pacheco who are hungry. He's a seven round draft pick, and he's coming in. And to some extent, the Giants saw that, and guess what? They're playing. They're sticking to their guns, and they're saying, well, the running backs we have in camp, we're going to see. You just brought in the kid from the USFL to give him a tryout. They're saying, fans don't want to hear it, but that's the reality of it. That's the business. And I keep saying the same thing. It's a business on both ends. The players are independent contractors. Their
Mm.
business is their body. And the team, they have the higher leverage because they're going to say, well, we're going to find somebody else to replace you. Not saying it's right. I'm not saying I want Saquon out of here. Don't think that's what I'm saying. But I'm trying to get you guys, everyone, to understand that this is a business and that's the way it is. You don't like it? That's just the business of professional sports. That's all sports. So,
Absolutely, absolutely, coach. And what I just lost track of what I was gonna say. I think in the case of Saquon, I think in the case of a lot of teams, man, if you seeing the quarterback positions, like if you seeing quarterbacks like Daniel Jones on some of these teams, man, like you thinking, yo, they need Saquon, man. Like, yo, you better pay him. You ain't gonna give the Daniel Jones all this money to go do a play action and roll out 5 yards to the left and roll out 5 yards to the right. Like,
why not?
you know what I'm
No,
saying?
no,
It's like
no,
so
no, no,
Saquon
no, no, you don't. No, you don't.
Saquon Barkley opens up things for Daniel
Yes, it
Jones.
does. Yes, it does. But you don't need. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. They're saying we
I'll
don't
be back,
need
fellas.
Saquon. All right, Pat.
All right.
They're saying because of the running back position, you don't need him. Saquon is dynamic, yes, but they're saying to you, we don't need him.
Right.
He's a running back. The position itself is not over. It's not in demand. I mean, I guarantee you, in those contract negotiations, they brought up every little thing with Saquon, the injury situation. Last year, he had 7 drops. His pass
I've
blocking.
brought that up
It,
about his drops.
yeah,
Yeah. And people got
yeah.
on me
Yeah.
So
about that.
no,
Right.
what I'm
Right. Right.
saying is,
Right.
I'm
Yeah, I heard
saying
about that.
in the negotiations, they put all this on the table. So that's everything they're using to lessen, what they need to pay him. And then you talk about the position within the league, the percentages, and then when you hit, but by the time you get to this age, the drop off is immense from the running back position. Quarterbacks are playing into their 40s. Running backs is barely to their 30s. So, that's what I'm getting at when you say
It's
that
about that longevity too. Yeah.
you say
That's
they
a fact.
need. No, they're saying we don't need you, Saquon. This team is still going to go on and they're going to produce. We brought in Darren Waller. We brought in Campbell. We brought back Slayton. We drafted Jalen Hyatt because of one thing. We want to vertically attack the defense that's going to stretch the defense, which is going to open up the middle of the area. And it also is going to help DJ because he's the one who can probably run and take off and run and be that dynamic in the run game.
Mm.
So there's so many different layers to this. To say that they need Saquon, no. That's what he's saying. We don't need him.
Let me
So yeah. Well,
let me
I
address
think
real quick. Let me address
Mm-hmm.
bookends right now. He says you need a running game, not a running
Mm-hmm.
back. See,
Mm-hmm.
now this is where I align with a lot of the people that that follow this show. You know, Big Blue Crew,
uh,
man. Shout out to the Big Blue Crew, man, in the chat because we're old school fans. Look, man, remember Tiki Barber
Mm-hmm.
left,
Mm-hmm.
retired on the
Mm-hmm.
Giants,
the year after he
Mm-hmm.
left.
and the Giants went and won a Super Bowl.
The year after he
So
left.
With how many
are
backs?
we really tripping over Saquon Barkley? I'm sorry.
I mean, well,
I,
based off of
I love
history,
Saquon,
I'll
but
answer that. I'll answer that question, Pop. Based off of history, no. But based off the way your team is constructed as of right now, possibly there's a percentage of the importance of
mm-mm.
Saquon Barkley. Now, I strongly believe so because listen, let's just face it.
His
I'm not a Giants fan. I'm not a Jets fan. But listen, Daniel Jones he not that good. Like he's not. He's good. He's all right, but he ain't.
mm,
He's not moving the needle unless Saquon Barkley is out there being
but that's not
basically the
true though.
decoy.
I'm gonna tell you why that's not true. Because both Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley have suffered because of lack of offensive line play on the New
Mhm.
York Giants. So
Okay.
it's these people want to say, oh well, Saquon Barkley needs Daniel Jones and Daniel Jones needs Saquon Barkley. They both need a goddamn offensive line.
Offensive line, yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
It's a lot of teams that need that, bro. I mean,
we
but
yeah, right, Leaf. You know what I'm saying? So we can't sit up here and play ourselves like, oh well, Daniel Jones needs Saquon Barkley to succeed. No, when Daniel Jones got a competent coach, he was able to succeed. It wasn't because of Saquon Barkley. It was because of the competent coach that knew
competent
how to use
coach.
both of them. Both of them. You know what I'm saying? So they were playing off each other, not because that Saquon Barkley is superior to Daniel Jones or vice versa. It's they were playing off each other because Brian Dable knew how to use their skill sets. That's the thing. And a lot of people want to say, oh well, it's Saquon Barkley, it's Daniel Jones. No, it's the Giants. The Giants are going back to guess what? Team play. One
Right.
part needs the other. The
One
Giants
part
do
is
need Saquon Barkley. They do. You know what I'm
right.
saying? And they need Daniel Jones, and they need Dexter Lawrence, and they need Kayvon Thibodeau, and
And
they
they
need
also
every
need a O line.
right. They need all of that. You know what I'm saying to succeed.
Absolutely.
They're not the
Absolutely.
Kansas City Chiefs where they're pretty much running off Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. You know what I'm saying? Basically,
Yeah.
that's what they're doing over there.
Yeah, Andy.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
basically Andy. It's basically Pat Mahomes roll out Travis Kelsey and Andy
Right. You
Reid.
know what I'm saying? You see the offense. If
Yeah,
that
I
dude
definitely
goes
see the
down, they're
offense.
done.
Yeah, by
Saying,
far, easily. That and that's what I heard for years, man. When listen, look, that's what I heard for years when I say day back to two quarterbacks. That's Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Cause I've been watching the Packers since '95, man, and everybody been telling me that yo, he
mhm.
go down, y'all ain't doing nothing. I'm like, all right, now that we don't got him, okay, boom. That means the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions should be ahead of the division, right? Let's see. But that's another story. But
Yeah.
in terms of
Nah, I agree with you. We could talk about that, man. I mean, this heart of the city, man, but we football fans. Um,
yeah. But
looking
not
at
to
that, looking at the division though, real quick with the North, um, I think, really it's the Vikings division to lose,
no,
and
it ain't. No, it ain't.
it's it's
I'm
it's
gonna
it's
tell
gonna
you that
be
right now.
it's gonna be
Listen,
on your boy Kurt.
No. It's not. No. The Vikings did what y'all did last year, bro. They won a lot of games by the skin of their teeth, and they bailed out, bro. Like they got bailed out.
Uh,
That's what happened. They did what y'all. Nah, I'm dead serious. They did what y'all did. I know who the Vikings are for many years. Kirk Cousins. I think. Listen, I think Kirk Cousins' best years are like dwindling. So here's the thing. Realistically, it's the like it's gonna come down to the Lions and the Bears. The reason being is because that is the division that comes out down to players. Because like the Lions and the Bears, like on most of the positions on that team, they got way better players than everybody in the division. They got way better players. They have better players than us for years. Better roster, better players, better skilled players at each position outside the quarterback position because we had Aaron Rodgers. You know what I'm saying? So
I give
realistically,
you that.
yeah. So realistically, I know the Lions can screw it up. I know the Bears can screw it up. So if by any chance we come close to even sniffing winning this division, I know a lot of Bears fans in my timeline. I know a lot of Lions fans in my timeline. I'm laughing at every last one of them because there's no way Jordan Love is supposed to come out and do anything with this team.
I don't have much expectation for him.
I don't.
But he
Me
may
neither.
surprise.
He may.
You
He
never
may. He
know.
may
He may
surprise.
surprise.
He may
You know,
surprise. But I just gotta figure out what if we still running that tired ass nickel that we run on 3rd and 15, and if we still running whatever BS offers Matt LaFleur is gonna sum up, bro. Like, listen, I don't expect us to really do much. So it's gonna be one of them seasons to just watch and see what player development or what players we could move up the ladder and work on schemes with. But other than that, I don't really expect nothing out of us this year. No.
when does the Hall of Fame game, Coach? It's
I believe it's August.
August.
Is it August 3rd?
Uh,
I'm double checking right now.
August 6th, maybe. Maybe August 6th. Because I know they shortened the preseason now. It's only 3 games.
Yeah. They
So
preseason, yeah.
Jets and Browns open the Hall of Fame game, and the Hall of Fame game is August 3rd, Thursday, August 3rd, 8 o'clock.
Thursday. Okay. All right. Bet
Yeah, but
that.
the next year for the Hall of Fame, for Football Hall of Fame, Andrew Luck will be eligible for Football Hall of Fame next year. Personally, I'll be honest with you, that's one of the few players that I legitimately felt sorry for when he walked out of that arena in Indianapolis and he got booed out of that arena. I legitimately felt sorry for him because I know why he walked away, and it was a very wise decision for him to walk away. Man, he's like, you know what? They not mistreat my injuries no more. I'm not doing this
Mm.
anymore. Look, I'm going home. I'm leaving in one piece. And I think a lot of players had done that. Have done that. Luke Kuechly retired early. Patrick Willis retired early. It was a lot. It was a lot of
Yep.
guys.
Calvin Johnson, Barry Sanders.
Megatron, Barry Sanders. Well, Barry Sanders tried. He retired early because they wouldn't trade him. They wouldn't trade him. They was like, he was looking to go to another team. They wouldn't trade him, so he retired early. Played 10 years. He was like, all right, I'm out. He was the youngest to ever go in the Hall of Fame. But there was a lot of players doing that. I think with the money that they're giving away, I don't think quarterbacks going to stay like at least 15 plus years. You got quarterbacks playing 15 plus years, 15 years, 12, 15 years minimum. These days, man. Like I think Phillip Rivers just finished a 17-year career. Drew Brees just finished a career with longevity. Aaron Rodgers is about to be 40. Tom Brady just finished 20-something years, man. Like yeah,
Yep.
so these quarterbacks gonna last a while. So the running back position, yeah, man, it's gonna be very disposable. It's gonna be seeing a lot of switches, and you ain't gonna
Breezy
know who's who.
says, "Who's the next team to win a championship in New York?" That's a good question. That is a very good
Okay.
question.
We're gonna take the Knicks out because that's not happening.
The closest one is the Liberty.
Yeah, probably the
Mm,
Liberty. If I had to say,
yeah.
yeah, that's probably
I
the
would
closest.
say the Liberty. If if you believe in the Rangers like I do, I think they can come back next year and do some things. I'm the baseball teams are I'm gonna get into them. I ain't forgot about y'all. The
Oh
baseball
man,
teams are just are pathetic right now. So we
yeah,
we taking them
baseball
out
hella
of the
parody, man.
equation.
Like you don't know who gonna win the championship. Like
Man, I can't call it, man.
yeah,
Um
nobody could call it. Yeah, with baseball. So
so
yeah, if I
I
had to
would
say
I would
the
agree with
closest is the
coach.
Liberty. Yeah,
Yeah, it's got to be the Liberty.
the
Definitely got to be
closest
the
is
Liberty.
definitely Liberty, man. Like I listen, if the Liberty win at least one, I'm like, all right, New York could do some type of standing up for a little bit. The Nets
If the
we
Liberty
far
win
away.
a championship before the Knicks, man,
Yes.
man,
I don't even think did Liberty win a championship yet? Did they? Did they?
They've been
nah,
there 4 times, but they have not
yeah,
won it.
they've been close. I know.
Wow. Yeah, I like.
But
Yeah,
it,
if the closest is the Liberty right now, then like because I know the Liberty probably closer than the Knicks, and the Knicks was 2 games away from making the conference finals.
I would say the Liberty. I would say, if you
Rangers.
count, I would say the Devils, and then I would probably have to put the
Wait,
Jets and
we claiming the
Knicks
Devils?
after that. New
Devils
York.
is Tri-State. There's New Jersey. Come on, man. Where do the Jets and the Giants play? In New Jersey. Don't go there.
All
Don't
right,
The
go there.
Devils
all right.
is a yeah. It's it doesn't have the New York
Logo, yeah, it don't have the New York name,
but
but I mean, yeah.
it's still considered
All
what I'm
right.
saying NYC. That's why I say NYC area sports. I don't say NY, New York. I say NYC area sports because coach we
So,
touch
coach,
on
we got all of
the
these
Connecticut,
teams.
the Yukon Connecticut Huskies too over here
We
too as
claim, yeah.
well.
So we claiming the UConn. All right, so we claiming all of these teams, and you mean to tell me we got all of
Hmm.
these chances at titles, and we can't. And the only person, the ones that we could think of that's fast to a championship, that's right there next to the championship, is the Liberty. This
Yeah,
shit
Yeah.
is
because
sad.
if you look at the major sports, see, but that's the thing. You know what? It's like college sports. Okay. Um, what most people don't know, there is an award that goes to the college
Right,
program
bookends the Metro.
that has the most championships in a given season, and that includes all sports. All sports. See, we just sit here and say, "Oh, football, basketball, baseball. That's it. Maybe in hockey. That's it. It's the major four." But you don't think about you don't think about soccer. You don't think about women's sports. You depreciate it. But these are sports that they do well. They do very well. And even with a fan base, even with a fan base. So you can't just crap on it because it doesn't fit somebody's particular narrative. It's New York. You rep it. Period. Case closed. I mean, when Rutgers is doing well, don't they light up the Empire State Building with
They
Rutgers
sure do.
colors?
Yes, they do. Yes, they
So
do.
so it can't be sometimes. Oh, so you want to do it sometimes. Either you do it full bore and you rep them, or you don't. They
Right.
do the same thing with St. John's. I
St.
mean,
John's. Yep.
if St. John's is winning, if they're out there and they're playing in the Final Four, you best believe the city's going to get behind them. So,
Syracuse.
Sarah,
Syracuse.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So look, Liberty right now, they got the mantra because they got the super team. That's what it is. I'm hoping they do, but the
There
Aces is
is
tough, man.
there is a slight exception to that rule, and I do not consider the Buffalo Bills a
Oh,
part of
really? Oh, we was.
NYC sports.
So we
You see,
not
we said the
claiming
Metro.
Buffalo. Oh man.
Yeah,
We said the
that's why I
Metro
put
New
that up
York.
there.
That's all.
What Bookend said, the Metro.
Hmm.
All right,
I'm
all
talking
right.
about the Metro. That
Okay.
upstate team.
Remember,
They're nah.
we say it's the tri-state area, and
Yeah.
tri-state in northern New Jersey is Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, and in South Jersey, it's actually Delaware, New Jersey, and eastern PA or the Philly area.
Right,
See,
right, right. Yeah.
New Jersey has two tri-state areas, so that's why I had to say that.
Right,
But
right, right. All right.
so when you then that's how I look at it. So and if the Liberty win it, you best believe I'm telling you, New York is going to get beat. Look what Sabrina Ionescu just did it with the 3-point
Yeah.
With the
contest.
3-point contest, yeah.
That was fire.
Exactly. That's
That
my
was.
point. So why is it when you're winning you want to claim it, but if they're not, no, you don't want to claim. Nah, man, nah, screw all that.
But here's the thing, Coach. You know just as well as I do. Most of the people that rep fans, no matter what city they from, they only fans of their team winning.
Oh,
Hmm.
well, they're fair weather. I'll
Some
give you that.
fans.
They're fair weather.
That's the
Very
Me,
majority.
yes, you're right.
we didn't went through some times with these Giants with the
Mhm.
Yankees, man. They stink right now. You know what I'm saying? As a Yankees fan, look, this is this is embarrassing. I mean, you losing to the Angels, but you trying to trade for
Uh,
their superstar at the same time. Like, you know what I'm saying? You such a bum ass team. Excuse my language. You losing to these dudes, and you trying to say, hey, by the way, let me give you these bums over here for your best player. Like,
Yep.
get out of here, man. That's how desperate
well,
this team is right now,
well,
man.
Oh
And
man.
if they're giving it from their farm system, if the team is in a rebuild, that's what you got to look at. I don't think the Angels are really ready to get in a rebuild because they're still trying to see what they can do.
Right.
So but I mean, I
man,
could be wrong. I mean,
the Angels suck, but the Yankees suck even worse. It's like because
that's so
the
funny.
Yankees
Go
the,
ahead, finish.
but real quick, coach, the Yankees were supposed to be a championship contending team
That's
this year.
I mean,
That's the thing.
supposed to,
That's the thing.
supposed to.
Now,
Supposed to.
I can compare this and you could say this. When the Nets came into last season, we were thinking championship because we had the superstars on our team. You know what I'm saying? The Yankees, let me tell you what they got. They got a $300 million player in Aaron Judge, a $300 million player in Garrett Cole, a $300 million player in John Carlos Stanton. And you know what they've done with those three players? The same thing the
Nada.
Nets have done. Shit. And
Yeah,
I'm
that's the
not letting
thing.
them off the hook. That's what I'm saying. This is
Hey,
heart of the city. We gonna get on
I
all these
think we
teams.
are like, well, in terms of the Nets, I think we've rerouted and hit the reset button and not started all the way from the bottom when we hit the reset button. So I
And
like
some fans are
the
wondering if the
cloud,
Yankees should do that.
the
Should they hit
championship,
the
yeah,
reset button?
the championship or bust cloud that we had no longer exists because if your best player is Mikal Bridges, I'm like, come on, there's no
Mm-mm.
championship or bust logo there. So
You're
like,
not winning. You're right.
yeah,
You,
yeah, yeah,
you
of
know what I'm
course,
saying?
yeah,
But
yeah.
at the
So
same time, though, the expectations were the same. You know, going into the season with Kyrie and KD, they were expected to win a championship. It's the same thing with this Yankees team. You
mhm.
going into the season with Aaron Judge, Garrett Cole, Luis Severino supposed to be healthy, and then you have Stanton. You re-sign Rizzo. You know what I'm saying? Now in baseball, you know what I'm saying? Just to keep it light with the conversation, it's the Yankees have a swing and miss team. So basically, to compare it to basketball, they're 3 point they're a 3 point team. If their 3 pointers are hitting, they're good. If they're not, they're done. They're like a one trick pony. You see what I'm
Oh.
saying, Leaf? So
Yeah, I'm serious. Saying.
basically that's what they are. If they're not hitting home runs, they're trash. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't have any other kind of
They don't
and
have no
that's
short game. They don't have the base hits or
right.
nothing. Oh, okay.
They can't do nothing else except hit home runs. And when they ain't hitting
Uh,
home runs, which they aren't doing right now because their best player is injured, now you have this team that's just getting bodied by all these other teams, the Colorado Rockies, and I man, I had to watch that game Saturday. It was disgusting, man. Like
it's
it's
one. It's
just
one of the reasons. It's one of the reasons why realistically, like the Nets is really the only team I claim in New York because they're from Brooklyn. Like, cause anybody say like because it's out of people, it's people that's out of town. They be like, "Yo, you from New York?" I'm be like, "No, I'm from Brooklyn." And you're like,
mhm.
it's somebody that would say they're from Queens or they certain like, but most of the people that's from Brooklyn, when the Bay people ask us we from New York, we tell them we from Brooklyn. Like that, that's what we tell them. Because
Right.
Brooklyn is actually, because a lot of people don't know, Brooklyn is actually one of the largest cities in the world. So
It is a city.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
So
not.
so
It's
It's a borough.
they
anytime you
say
write a
borough, but yeah,
It's a
yeah,
it's a
yeah,
borough.
city.
but yeah, anytime you write a postcard, you're not gonna put New York if you're from Brooklyn. You're gonna put Brooklyn, New York, and
Well,
then you're
you
gonna
do
put the
that
zip
with
code.
all of them. You do with Bronx, the Queens. You don't say New York, New York. The only one is Manhattan that just say
Yeah,
New York, New
that's the only
York.
one that's Manhattan. But
So
Mhm.
yeah, so
I get what you're saying. But it's all part of New York City. That's the whole point. It's they're a borough of New York City.
right.
That's they don't. It's not. It's a separate city. I get where you're saying Brooklyn, the Brooklyn Nets. They're repping the borough, but it's still part of New York City. You pay city taxes to New York City. Everything is part of New York City. Your police department is it's not Brooklyn Police Department. It's New York City Police
City
Department.
department. All right. Yeah, I
Your
know.
the mayor is the mayor covers Brooklyn too. So I get it.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
trust me, my grandmother lived in Brooklyn for many, many years, so I know exactly what y'all talking about. I've heard it,
Mhm.
so I know, I get it. But it's like, okay, it's still part of New
yeah,
York City.
definitely. But hopefully, we get to some type of prominence before the Knicks do, man. Because that, to me, that would be. I don't even really think that would be too big of a badge of honor if we do get to a championship before the Knicks do. But like, I think people will look at it as that. I think Knicks fans will be more disappointed than we'll be excited. But that's just me. But
The majority
um,
Knicks fans,
Let me
yeah.
say. Let me say H Town, H Town. But we're gonna get up out of here, man. Like I said, I'm gonna kind of time this show a little bit.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
I
But
know we
I
got I
gotta
know we
charge
got
my
a late
phone.
start. You know what I'm saying? But that was my technical difficulties. Like I said,
Yeah, yeah,
um
yeah. I gotta charge my phone. Pop, coach, it's been good, man. I'm gonna catch y'all next time on the next time.
Always.
Definitely, definitely, man. Great show, man. I'm see y'all soon.
All
all
right,
right,
have a good
man.
one. Be
Definitely
safe.
appreciate you, man. Go subscribe to Leaf Diggy, man. Definitely, man. You know what I'm saying? Good content, man, on the basketball end. Obviously showing he knows his football
Hmm.
as well. So that's what's up right there, man. My bro Leaf. Appreciate you, bro. Pat, you still there with us?
He said he would be back, so I don't think he
Okay.
is.
Okay. Coach, you wanna
Yeah.
um you wanna touch on the Liberty real quick?
Well, yeah, just briefly. I mean, the second half of the season is coming back in effect. They're overall they're the number two seed in the WNBA. They just had the All Star weekend. Team Stewie, Brianna Stewart's team defeated
Mm-hmm.
Team Wilson 143-128. Um, um, uh, it was led by Jewel. What's Jewel's last name? Damn it. From the Seattle Storm, Stewie's former teammate. She won MVP. She also broke the record in scoring. But as far as the Liberty, you had they had the skills challenge. The team of Sabrina Ionescu and Courtney Vandersloot came in second place to the Aces, which is still not a bad thing. But when it came to the 3 pointer, um, all I can say is Sabrina put on a show, man. She scored
Mm-hmm.
28 points in the first set, and then 37 points, missing only two shots
37.
in the second set, and that's she it's an all-time record in the NBA and the WNBA. So
Mm,
not Larry Bird, not Reggie Miller, not Ray Allen. None of the elites can ever say that they did what she did in that game. And all I gotta say is if you watched it, you knew she was going for it. She was on fire. And it
yeah.
was a thing of beauty. It was just she literally was not watching it go in. She would just shoot it, turn, grab the other ball, shoot it, turn, grab the other ball because she knew it was going in, and she said it afterwards. So that was a highlight. And now it's the talk between her and Steph going at it in a 3-point shooting competition. So um, so but yeah, it was a beautiful thing. I'm ready for the second half, and hopefully the Liberty can make a strong run and position
It's really
themselves to
between them
play
and the
for.
Aces, isn't it? Like as
Well, you
far
have
as
to, you
like,
have to, you have to. Connecticut is right there. You can't
mm,
sleep on Connecticut. Connecticut, I
okay.
think, is like a game or two behind the Liberty. So they have the opportunity, and if the Liberty slip, but now the Sun they lost one of their top players for the season to injury, so it is
Mm,
positioning that well, and um, as long as Stewie continues, she's playing at an all-star level. I think she's number 2 in scoring in the league, but she's right there. You have Sabrina. Courtney is leading the league in assists. Brianna is number 2 in rebounds. But they have a well-rounded squad. There are times that anybody on that squad can lead the team in scoring. I mean, even
mm,
Benajah Laney has led them in scoring from time to time. And then you have Marine Johannes from France. If you want to see somebody with flash, I mean, she shoots these one-footed three-pointers, and I mean,
mm.
she shoots from range. She can go range for distance right with Sabrina. So, um, it's a good thing with the Liberty. I really like the team. The only Steph Dawson, hopefully, is coming back from injury because we do need that low post. There are times when we get in foul trouble. Naira Sabali, she's starting to get into round, but she's still a rookie. But I also definitely want to see my girl Han Zhu coming back from China. She dominated over there. Hopefully, she comes back as a 6'10" post player and gains her confidence, and she can contribute a little bit more. But everybody has been contributing on this team, so I'm really excited to see the second half, and I want to see them go up against the Aces again. So that's pretty
Yeah,
much
me
it with
too,
the
man.
Liberty.
LA, New
So
York, New York, LA, you know what I'm saying? To see that battle again in the
yeah,
finals,
so
man. We need something in here in New York, man. We're like, we need something. I know Breezy put it in the chat earlier, the next team to possibly win a championship, man. And the Liberty are looking good right now. The Liberty are looking good. So let's not let's not poo poo what our women are doing in sports right now. So definitely, man, good stuff, coach, man. Appreciate you, man.
always,
Um
always
keeping
appreciate you too, bro.
keeping being tapped into that, man. Pat, you good, bro? We about to shut it down, man. Kind of went over my limit a little bit, but definitely check us out, man. I'll be more prepared next next week, man. Just it's just been crazy, man. My internet's been kind of acting funky. But we gonna hold it down, man. Definitely appreciate you, coach. You got any last words, coach, man? What you up to, man? Tell the folks, man, what you got lined up, man, on your channel.
And just putting out little things here and there. I took a little break from working a podcast right now. I was sick for a minute, so and then just rebounding, and um, tomorrow the show will probably be rebroadcasting. My producer's probably just going to put on a rebroadcast. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do, because I said initially I was going to do a week or two, so I might not do next week. So I don't know, but One of the things I am probably going to do a little bit more of is a two-person interview. Because it seems that some of the people like that, and um, it seems to go over well until we really get into the full swing of football. Just also to give a little different feel to it. So instead of just one interview,
Mhm.
just give two, and it allows people to give more, get more. I have to close out the arena team because they won the championship. So I'm supposed to interview the head coach and their star quarterback. So I'm supposed to do them, and then I'm supposed
Okay.
to
Well,
also
awesome.
do the league of all leagues. Their season is supposed to be starting the end of this month. So I know they're doing a league-wide event where they're playing a lot of games at one location, a league sponsored event. But I want to I'm supposed to interview, each team, somebody from each team, as well as the CEO. She's committed to being interviewed, so I want to definitely, get them on there. And I also just picked up another sponsor yesterday, so I'm going to be working to announce that coming out a little bit, probably sometime this week. So, but I'm just really just like I said, just trying to grind and build this, and um, trying to see about possibly going. Not just on with Shadow Worlds, but might even do a regular podcasting 5 days a week, but only for an hour. So, but do it a little bit more under my own brand. So it's something that I'm working on. So that's pretty much it.
Okay. That's what's up, man. That sounds great, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking forward to checking that out, man. You know what I'm saying? Love listening to your show, man. I listen in
Oh,
the
oh,
background a
I
lot,
got,
man.
and I might also, I'm working on one other show, but we'll talk about that. But I'm working out all the niches. So and also I told you earlier. So I might be doing because of hip hop on the podcast. I might be doing because I've been going back and forth with it, man. So it's like right now I think I got like 60 artists that I've said, oh wow, I really love this one. I love that one, and I'm going to do a top 10, and then maybe a honorable mention, something to that effect. So, but man, I just realized he's gone. But that's pretty much it, man. I mean, but just keep looking out. I'm trying to come up with more creative ways. Um, uh, yeah, I was talking about the Liberty Breezy. I mean, I definitely repped up my ladies. I mean, I love my ladies, so in many ways. So, but yeah, that's about it. So you back, bro? You good?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Man, my
Go
damn
ahead.
internet keep glitching out, man. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Come on, let's wrap it
we're
up.
going, we're going, we're going to shut it down, man. But appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate everyone for stopping by, man. Of course, man. My man Breezy, big fan Breezy with the Brooklyn Nets vlog, man. Go check him out, man. Go check out his channel, man. Of course, man. Big Pat Sports Talk, man. If you ain't subscribed to Big Pat, I don't know what you're doing with your life. So go definitely check his channel out, man. Got Tommy in the chat, man. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, bookends. Um, appreciate you, Raphael, man. Appreciate you, man. Who else we got in the chat? Man, I can't even go all the way up, man. But definitely appreciate everybody coming through. Appreciate Leaf coming through, man. For sure, man. Go check out Leaf, man. Leaf Diggy, man. No doubt, man. But we're gonna get up out of here, man. And till next week, man. Peace.
Peace.